All right, here we go. World Jiu Jitsu Festival. This is day 2. Skaff, you want to give them a rundown on what to expect here from day 2, and then maybe a recap on what happened on day 1. By the way, guys, Brandon McCatherine. You can find me on Instagram at brandonmc.ninja. This is Matt Skaff. You can find him on Instagram at Matt Skaff. And we would appreciate the shares and any love you want to give us, like the video, etc. Skaff, kick it, dog.
Yeah, so yesterday, the main event was Martinez versus Rafael Lovato. So this is actually pretty cool. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a 2-day event where they have 2 main event super fights. Saturday, the event started a little bit later. I think they had some difficulties. Rafa Sparza, who is announcing right now, he said he was just in the audience, and I guess the guy that was supposed to announce didn't show up, and they just picked him out of the audience.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. Dude, pretty nice to have Rafa around.
Yeah,
for
dude.
A situation like that.
Yeah, so super cool. Rafa's a man. So anyways, we had a 6-minute match between Martinez and Rafael Lovato. We saw Rafael Lovato yesterday. He didn't engage quite how I thought he was going to engage the first couple of minutes. He was really, he looked like he really respected Boogie's guard, and he knew that he couldn't just come in and take the underhook. And so he ended up doing a pass I had never really seen before. So instead of taking his right arm and getting the underhook, he took his right arm on the near side of Boogie's body, and then his left arm came over for like a reverse body lock. Really interesting. If you guys didn't see that match, definitely a very interesting pass. He used it twice. And then Lovato, again, at the 6-minute mark, he ended up passing, and he finished a very traditional Kimura where he stepped that knee around the head and just finished, pulled the arm up and got the finish. We also saw Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper ended up losing, I believe, by footlock. We were watching the UFC at the same time, so there was a lot of gi matches, so we weren't exactly paying 100% attention. We saw a gorgeous back take from Edwin NAJMI. So Edwin NAJMI had a really nice back take, ended up finishing with a rear naked choke. Today, the main event, which is really interesting, is Gordon Ryan versus Palhares. Gordon Ryan really wanted this match. Palhares hasn't been submitted in, a long time. And so Gordon, he's looking for the submission today. I think he's going to come out, play aggressive. I think we're going to see him sit guard at the beginning. And probably about 5 minutes into the match, if nothing's really happening, and and Tanquinho is playing, if he's playing kind of hesitant, I think we're going to see him get up and wrestle and try and take the match to Palhares. But Gordon's definitely going for that submission. He's looking for another big name to add to that growing list of world-class athletes that he submitted.
He's a scary-looking dude. All right, so while you keep going, I'm going to go through the chat over here. I was trying to get the card pulled up. I was having some trouble, so we're just not going to be able to do with it. I'll have it pulled up, so I'll be able to see it if we need it. But, yeah, anyway. There we go.
I'm also wondering, because wasn't Paulo Costa just in Australia? So maybe it's a different Paulo Costa, because he was just in Australia.
He was in Australia. Wait a minute, yeah.
So
he was just there last night talking trash with Adesanya after the main event. So he was there late. I don't think this is him. Or they've got somebody to replace him and just haven't changed the card yet. Let me hear you in the mic, Skaff.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Yeah, so we're starting this card off with one of our real good buddies, Ruben Rivera. Ruben Rivera is a black belt. He started underneath Tate Fletcher, and he's a black belt under Eddie Bravo. One of our favorite guys.
Just needs to be plugged in while that streams off of it.
He's fighting Rodrigo Freitas. Should be a really good match. But yeah, Gordon Ryan, Palhares, I see some of you guys saying you didn't know it was going to happen. Yeah, Gordon Ryan's competing, I think, the next 4 weekends. So if you're a big fan of Gordon Ryan, stay tuned. We're going to be covering a lot of Gordon Ryan over the next few weeks.
Yeah, man. He's got something coming up pretty much every weekend. Who's he fighting next weekend?
Yeah, so he has a fight to win match coming up, heavyweight title fight against Muhammad Ali. And then he has, I believe it's called the Kings of Grappling Kings, something like that. It's a $10,000 absolute tournament. Our buddy Quentin Rosenzweig has Gordon Ryan in the first round. Dante Leon's in that. Dante Leon's the returning champion. And so there's some really good names in that. Kyle Bame's in that. I think Tex Johnson. So there's some big names for $10,000. So
Man, Quentin's really confident going into that match. So that's interesting to me. Quentin has beaten some really good guys, and he's beaten some guys that have beaten the best of the best. For instance, Tech John. I know it's not. We don't want to do the MMA math thing, like who can beat who, but Tex Johnson tapped Felipe Pena. Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Quentin tapped Tex Johnson.
Yeah.
Felipe Pena tapped Gordon Ryan. MMA math says that Quentin can tap Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, and I think what was really interesting about how Tex tapped Felipe Pena is he ended up doing it in 50-50. And so he flipped it over to 50-50. Felipe Pena tried to a rolling escape, and you just can't do that in 50-50. So, but Gordon and the Donahue guys, I don't want to say they don't believe in 50-50, but it's definitely something that they avoid in their leg locking system.
Yeah.
And so where we see guys like Tex Johnson's had a lot of success
Lachlan
with 50-50.
Giles.
Lachlan Giles.
Quentin, another great example. Yeah, Tex, I've seen Tex break off a lot of guys in 50-50. You know, he competed down in here in Atlanta for years and years and years, man. So, seen him compete a bunch of times.
Yeah. So, I think that's a big difference. Gordon Ryan, he hasn't been doing too many leg locks recently. He finished one reaping heel hook in ADCC, but man, I'm really expecting him to take the back and finish Palhares with a rear naked choke. If there's a finish, that's what I'm expecting, is a rear naked choke off of the straight jacket system. So.
All right, well, Raf has just come out. Hey, you guys, give us a share here. Let's see if we can get this turned up. We're not going to have a link for you guys, but we are watching this live as it happens, so you're going to know as soon as the results start coming through. And we're going to try to actually do commentary on the matches too, instead of just, you know, getting off topic too much. This first one, we got Ruben Rivera, good friend of mine, black belt in 10th Planet. I think that might be the food there. We got some food on the way, so. All right. Rodrigo Freitas versus Ruben Rivera.
Yeah, it should be a good match. Ruben Rivera, good wrestling, just skilled everywhere. Good guard, good leg locks. Ruben's definitely one of the most exciting guys to watch.
All right, here we go. I don't know the rule set, man. I don't know what rule set they're playing under. So if anybody knows, like if you're listening, let us know in the comments. So Ruben and Freitas engaging on the feet here. Ruben's a pretty strong wrestler, man, so don't be surprised to see him get some really nice entries on maybe a single leg. You might even see him getting into a power double, duck unders. He's got a nice arsenal on his feet.
Yeah, and he really likes the Russian tie, and he's a guy that didn't wrestle in high school, so he's a great example of a dude that's just done jiu-jitsu, done some MMA, but just has picked up, he's just picked up wrestling over the years. So.
Seawood says, when is Gordon's match? Does anybody know? Also, I trained in Decatur at Tempe once, and I had a great time. Oh, thanks, man. We love having visitors in. Gordon's the main event of this one, and so we got, let me see how many matches in front of it. Looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches in front of it, counting this one that just started.
Yeah, Will's asking about how Boogie Martinez and Lovato's match went down yesterday. So that match was a 6-minute match. Lovato passed twice. He used a really interesting. A lot of people. I've never seen that pass before, and a lot of people are really interested in how he passed Boogie's guard. You could tell Lovato didn't want to take the underhook, and so he ended up kind of doing like a reverse body lock. And he passed twice with that and ended up finishing it.
It was crazy, dude. I've never seen anybody pass any guard like that, much less the lockdown. But it was a brilliant way to lock the hips.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant, man. So really interested to see how that plays out for me in my own training. I'm going to definitely give it a try.
Yeah.
So we're a minute and 45 seconds into this first match here between Ruben Rivera and Freitas. It's a Rodrigo Freitas, I believe is his name. And nothing really happening so far. Just feeling each other out on the feet, and we've now hit the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes deep. We don't know how long these matches are. They're counting the timer up. Hit me up 01 on the chat says, from yesterday's rule set, we're looking at sub only, no points. Not sure how overtime works or if there is one.
Okay.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you for chiming in. All right, Freitas sits guard. So he's the first to sit guard, and he sits to a butterfly. And Ruben goes to both knees, looking to double unders pass here. Now back to his standing position and kneeling again, looking to stuff those butterfly hooks and maybe get into 2 underhooks for his passing. Definitely staying low and trying to keep any kind of sweep, like open guard, leg lock attempt from getting underneath him.
Yeah, and traditionally, a lot of people think that the double unders or an over-under pass is really the only way to pass no-gi. Guys passing no-gi from top.
Ruben still staying low, not allowing Rodrigo to get underneath here. Rodrigo may be thinking about standing back up. Now he sits all the way up into a seated butterfly guard, feet on the hips. And just, they couldn't settle in on a grip or a position from the grip fighting on the feet, and they're having trouble doing it on the ground too. But both guys are looking to advance, just neither guy allowing the other to win the grip exchange.
Yeah, Rodrigo's really trying not to get flattened out right here. He's doing a good job with his head, making sure his head's staying below Ruben's.
And he's playing a really traditional, both feet on the inside kind of butterfly hook. Even when he sits all the way back, he leaves those feet kind of either on the inside or he puts them in the hips. And now he's looking to maybe do like a half inversion.
Yeah, it's kind of maybe looking for like a lazy knee bar right there, looking for a underhook.
Yeah, maybe just looking to create some space to like create a little movement from Ruben. Because Ruben's staying super low. He's not letting him get underneath at all. And Freitas may be thinking about jumping into a closed guard here. He's looking to control the wrist. No, he's going to put that butter half back in, back out now. Feet in the hips.
So yeah, we're at 420, 421, 422. Not much action going on. Freitas still playing. Gets a nice little shove to Ruben Rivera. But yeah, it's playing very traditional butterfly guard. Ruben's not being very aggressive with his passing. Still feeling it out.
Alexander says, when's the best time to visit 10th Planet Decatur from out of town? I would say anytime Monday through Thursday is a great time. If you want to train with me, like specifically, Monday through Thursday is really the only time I can pretty much guarantee you're going to be able to find me. A lot of times I'm gone on the weekends. Skaff teaches on Friday nights at 7 also. So he usually teaches Monday nights and Friday nights. And then we got 2-a-days, Monday through Thursday. So, but the weekends are kind of tough. Little inversion here from Rodrigo. Forces Ruben to his butt, but no danger, no entanglement for either guy here. But Freitas does use it to come up and sweep, and now Ruben playing the open guard. He's on his back, and Freitas putting the pressure on him, looking to change sides, and they're going to reset in the middle. What up, 10 Planet New York City? Diego Cruz, what's going on? Lucas Andrade.
Yeah, Freitas trying to get his knee in the middle, trying to establish a position where he can knee slice.
And Ruben playing a lot more of a modern style open guard with and now a little leg drag, and really Freitas gets past.
Yeah, really good bullfighter pass right there, kind of bullfighter leg draggy style pass. Excellent work. He's got a good cross face. Doesn't quite have the underhook secured, but Freitas is just holding position right now, trying to keep that pass. Ruben's very calm though. And sub only, you don't have to worry. You don't have to explode the turtle. You don't have to worry about the points.
Freitas coming across with a decently heavy crossface, and now a much heavier crossface from the side control position. Ruben framing the hip. Freitas changes his hip, breaks the frame. And Ruben, like you said, staying calm. There's not really any danger. Freitas hasn't threatened him, but he's keeping that pressure and kind of a tight side control position down on him. Ruben now using the elbow to frame against the hip there. Freitas doing a good job distributing his weight across Ruben here, making himself very heavy and very tight. And now he starts to attack the head. He's got the chin strap from side control, maybe thinking about a Darce here as Ruben Starts to think about turning towards his knees.
Yeah, Ruben needs to be careful here. That chin strap's such a good place to lock and attack. Ruben does a great job, though.
Man, very nice.
Yeah, great job getting using Freitas' chin strap against him to get his half guard back.
Now Ruben back into his open guard. Freitas hand in the hip, looking to pass like I think old school Marcelo, the way he would have passed a butterfly guard. Just M1 is what we would call it in the 10th Planet system. Hand on the hip. Ruben playing that De La Riva, uses it to kick away and now stand up. We're back to the feet with 7 minutes, 40 seconds deep into the match. What's up, Brian?
What's going on?
What's up, JD?
What's up, sir?
Slap.
Yeah, Ruben in the first 2 minutes of exchange. Ooh, some nice, man, that was some hard collar snaps right there. Some hard collar ties. Ruben slapped him, and then Freitas came back with a harder slap.
It's the game, man. I ain't never mad at that.
Yeah, Ruben's tried 2 arm drag single legs. That was really the only action in the first 2 minutes before Freitas pulled guard. A lot of head fighting right here.
Yeah, both guys doing a good job
Nice
fighting for
collar
position.
tie.
Hanging on each other, hanging on the head, staying heavy, trying to wear each other out. Freitas tries a little drag right there by the back of the head, nothing going. Ruben now clubs the head. They're getting heavy, and they're starting to get aggressive with each other. A little arm drag attempt here from Freitas. Ruben now playing for the overhook, and they break grips again.
Yeah, you can really find a lot about your opponent right here when you hit them with a few hard collar ties. Are they the type of guy that's going to sit, or are they going to throw those collar ties right back? And we're seeing both these guys throwing some aggressive collar ties.
What's going on in the chat? You guys let me know. Is anybody actually watching, or you just listening to the I guess the radio call here? Ruben jumps guard, standing Freitas. Freitas won't go down, and Ruben's going to try to get into a arm lock kind of position. Looked like he was thinking about digging. Yeah, so he's got the ankle here. He's able to pull Freitas down into his closed guard. Freitas now on his knees.
Who was the guy in Kasai that used that super dangerous sweep from the closed guard where they underhook and pull the leg up?
I can't remember. But I've heard that called a star sweep.
Yeah.
Several times. Volume down. So for those of you that are watching, we're now at the 9:57, 8, 9, 10-minute mark of this match between Rivera and Freitas. And that's it. 10 minutes, they're going to go to some sort of overtime, whether it's a draw or maybe just a decision now at this point. If they're thinking decision, neither guy...
I mean, I guess the pass. I think they gave it to Freitas. So, yeah, for the pass, I mean, he got the best position in the match.
Yeah, he's the only guy that really took a position. He got a sweep and a pass, I would say. He definitely got the sweep. He definitely got the pass. Wasn't really able to take a position. So, yeah, there you go. So I don't know necessarily what the rules were contested, like the rules that the match was contested under, but just watching from his daughter runs out on the mat with him. Just from watching the match, yeah, there was no positions really taken by Ruben, and Freitas was able to sweep and then take one position, even though it was recovered.
Yeah, I think the hierarchy, if you're going to do a decision, it has to be submission attempts, then followed by position. And neither guy had any submission attempts. Freitas had a chin strap. That was the not close to anything, but that was the closest position to, actually having an offensive attack, and he did have one guard pass. So I think it was a good decision, but, I mean, neither guy should feel... I mean, there was definitely a winner and a loser, but it didn't really feel that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, they raised
a hand. Yeah.
So we got a winner under the rules, but it wasn't a situation where either guy got outclassed or really did anything special for sure. So good match though, competitive for sure. They're on the same level. You see it.
So I believe in our next match we have one of the big up-and-coming guys in Jiu-Jitsu. Guthiery Barbosa is definitely a guy to watch out for, a young guy, new black belt, and he's going against Victor Silverio. Victor Silverio is an exciting guy. I'm guessing this is a gi match because I've never seen Barbosa do anything other than gi. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's not. Is it on Flow Grappling? I don't think this is on Flow
No,
Grappling.
it's World Jiu-Jitsu Festival. I've never heard of. I'm thinking this is a new event, so we'll see.
What's up, Peyton? Appreciate that, man. All right, I'm gonna grab a bite real quick while y'all break it down for him here, Scaffing. Yo, let them know what happened in yesterday's, just in case they're just
Yeah,
joining
so you
us.
guys just joining us. Again, super. I think it's a really cool format. 12 super fights over 2 days. 2 big main events. We had Boogie Martinez versus the 185 Bellator champion Rafael Lovato. Both guys. It was an interesting match. Lovato definitely respected Boogie's guard. He was definitely not attacking with the underhook. So wasn't going for any underhook passing, but was trying to get on the inside. It took him four minutes before he got the first pass. He did kind of a reverse body lock. So if you can imagine you're passing to your left, he took his right arm and weaved it underneath Boogie's body, and his left arm came over the top and locked a gable grip right there. So it was like a reverse body lock. I've never seen anything like that. And he passed both times with that move. And they were asking him about it afterwards, and it was kind of his game plan, because he knew he didn't want to get that underhook and have Boogie attack the rubber guard style, the carny. Boogie ended up in his guard, and Lovato immediately stood up and pushed Boogie down, retreated, and went back to trying to pass a half guard style. So really interesting match. That Lovato ended up winning at the 6-minute mark with a very traditional Kimura. He ended up passing, got the Kimura, stepped that leg over, and finished from a north-south. Also, we had Edwin NAJMI. And Edwin NAJMI had a really slick back take. He ended up finishing a rear naked choke in the co-main event. MIKEY MUSUMECI, arguably one of the top 3 or 4 pound-for-pound gi players in the world. He ended up winning his match yesterday. So, yeah, it was a pretty good day of jiu-jitsu. The UFC event was on as well, so, and especially if you guys watched that with us or watched it, you know how fire the undercard was. So we didn't watch too much of the jiu-jitsu. We really watched that Lovato and Boogie Martinez. But the other matches we didn't see as much, so. Yeah, David. So Rivera's put a lot of time. He's put a lot of time into his strength and conditioning. He's starting to take, kind of that professional jiu-jitsu lifestyle more seriously. And so a lot of guys kind of taking it seriously. I mean, for most of your competition journey, you're not getting paid, and so you're getting offered like main event super fights, or I've done some main event super fights on some pretty big cards, and it was like you had to win to get paid, or you enter a 16-man tournament, and the only person that wins is the winner. And so sometimes the motivation to kind of be a full-time athlete is lacking in jiu-jitsu. But I know Ruben has a really good strength and conditioning coach, and I would say Ruben's going to do his best work at 155. So, yeah, the event, $9.99. Palhares is definitely not looking like the Palhares of old. He's looking very deflated. So right now they're showing Palhares training. He definitely doesn't look anywhere near as scary and big as in the past. So especially if you guys think back to that match he had with Gary Tonin, he does not look like the same Palhares. He looks very deflated. So
he looks old.
He looks old. Yes, he looks very old. So we haven't seen too much of Palhares recently, so I think he's going to hold. He's a fantastic wrestler. I think he's going to hold the wrestling advantage. Gordon's kind of already talked about how he's going to sit guard and look to, sweep or submit from bottom, and if he has to, he'll get up and start to wrestle. But I'm with you, David. 145 to 170. It's funny, I've actually competed 145 same day, and I've also done 170. So I can kind of understand what Ruben, but a lot of that has to do with really more just challenging yourself, especially since you're not getting paid. If I was getting paid $10,000 a super fight, I'd compete at 45, every couple months, easy. Or definitely stay closer to that weight. But since most of the jiu-jitsu competition is for a couple $100, and really more of just about testing yourself. It's kind of hard to find that motivation sometimes to stay near, your ideal fighting weight.
All right, chat. I want to know, and I want to know from you guys too. Is there anybody who thinks that Palhares has any chance at all of submitting Gordon Ryan?
Not today.
No, I mean specifically today, but ever.
No.
It was like cold pressed
Palhares
juice.
of 6 or 7 years ago, maybe.
Maybe against the Gordon Ryan of 6 or 7 years ago. I think the best Palhares never beats today's Gordon Ryan.
Man, I think I don't see Palhares submitting Gordon at any point of his career, but Palhares is definitely one of the most dangerous grapplers, and he's incredibly hard to get a position with how explosive and strong he is and get that finish.
But is he explosive and strong compared to Gordon? He's explosive and strong compared to most of the guys that he runs with. Oh, look, there's a little shoulder trap guillotine by Palhares. That was interesting.
Yeah, I know Gordon right now. He just I was following his Instagram a couple days ago, and after ADCC he was weighing about 217, 218. So I'm gonna imagine for this match he'll probably be around that 220 mark. Palhares is looking like maybe 210. He doesn't look like he's 220.
Well, he fought at 185, so he was never. I mean, he got pretty big, but
yeah,
I don't think he was ever like in the 240 range or anything like that, was he?
How big was he when he fought Jones?
Jones who? Greg Jones?
Jones.
I think he was 640. He was 640.
He was big,
pounds.
man. For Gary Tonin, I think Gary weighed 175, and he was about 210 of just pure horse meat.
Yeah,
dude.
Peyton says absolutely zero chance that he beats Gordon. I got to agree with that, dude. Oh, shoot, we got 87 people. Kevin Primo! He says, yes, he'll win by Peruvian necktie. Kevin's drunk. Kevin getting a little tipsy on a Sunday afternoon here. Jonathan Garcia says, Star Wars sucks. Boycott Episode 9. Luke Skywalker deserved better.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't agree with that.
Don't talk to me.
I feel like the Star Wars is...
Jonathan
I feel like they're pretty good.
I've never been more proud of a YouTuber. You've never been more proud.
Shooting pretty low there. Is Rooster Mark Palhares going to stall like he did against Craig? Maybe. But I don't think Gordon's going to give him a chance to stall.
Man, well, that's Gordon, what he said. He's going to pull guard, and if Palhares isn't engaging, that's the luxury Gordon Ryan has now. And that's why he learned to wrestle. I mean, obviously, ADCC was a big reason, but even more importantly for some of these super fights, he doesn't want to get stalled out. He doesn't want to end up in overtimes. And Gordon's a few times been stalled out and had tough times with guys that were better wrestlers. But now, since he's really developed his wrestling game, it's hard to run away from Gordon Ryan.
All right, let me give you guys that are asking in the chat an update on the card. So far, we've had Ruben Rivera versus Rodrigo Freitas. And Freitas won either, we don't actually even know, either a points win or a decision win. We don't have the volume on, so we don't know what the rules are. I think it's a sub-only tournament, but the match between Rivera and Freitas was really good, it was really competitive. Nothing exciting happened too much either way. Freitas got a sweep, then a pass, and then Rivera recovered, and that was pretty much the way the fight went. A lot of work on the feet, but that match is down. That was the opening match. Next up, we got Barbosa versus Silverio. Then we got Lopez, Luciano, Barbosa versus Alves, Costa, Oliveira, and then the final fight would be Gordon Ryan and Rousimar Palhares.
I think, no, this is Lopez versus Kleber, Luciano.
Okay, I wasn't watching, so this is...
Yeah,
I
so
see
I guess
Kleber
they
out there.
skipped I don't know what happened. I was actually looking forward to that match.
And this one's being contested in the gi.
Yeah. Kleber Luciano, he had a...
Drop Sayonagi, and Kleber got the takedown right off the bat. Straight into side control.
Yeah,
and
Kleber
now
Luciano,
Lopez
he
turtles
fought Kevin Burbick at a fight to win maybe 3 years ago. And
it wasn't that long ago.
2 years ago? It was a couple years ago for sure.
Okay, maybe.
So
Dude, Kleber's already looking strong. Okay, Lopez right back to the feet. So nice work on the feet there from Kleber Luciano.
Kleber's definitely an old school guy. Been around the game a long time. As you can see by his belt, he has about 83 stripes on him.
He's looking like a Nato Laranja out there.
Yeah. And I think he's a 5th degree black belt now. So.
Ooh, strong on the feet too. Another, he hit that same drop, Sayanagi throw.
Drop Sayanagi.
He's doing it like with a collar drag too.
See, these are the gi matches that you want to tune into.
As long as there's action, man.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see people getting stalled out, boring.
I don't think there's any overtime. I think it's just sub only. Ref's decision.
My wife offered me toast.
Is it buttered?
Yeah, it's buttered. I always accept toast. That's just a rule I got about toast. That's right, pajama party.
Yeah, Kleber's a beast, Ben. Anybody that's been in the game as long as he has that still, competes a couple times a year is a G. And, man, he looks awesome. He's on the he's in half guard right now, quarter guard, so the knee's free. He's trying to slip out. Lopez trying to get to Turtle. But Kleber's got that collar right there, and he's starting to threaten.
He's looking at a clock choke here. Oh, now he's looking to switch off to the bow and arrow. Back to top position. Good defense by Lopez. But Kleber now working an over-under pass.
Yeah,
Ooh,
really
man,
nice
good
pass
passing.
Right there.
Man, Kleber's whooping that tail. Now he's a knee on belly, dude.
Yeah, he's straight. Just
He's big brother.
he knows he has the advantage, and he looks like a guy that's
Dude, look at him skip that knee on belly. He's a G,
He's
man. He
looking
looks
like-
awesome right here.
couple takedowns, really dominating the ground positions. He's on knee on belly. He's got one collar.
Oh, shoot. We got a super chat already. What's going on? Fabian. I'm going to try to say your last name. Anguin. Fabian. $5, dude. Appreciate it. I promise I'm going to get a soundboard. Oh, no. My God. Kleber takes the back.
Yeah, as off of turtle guard, it makes you feel like a superstar.
And he did it to Eddie Bravo
He did do it to Eddie Bravo.
at ADCC 2003.
21-0, bro.
Ooh.
So, Kleber's in guard.
Yeah, Lopez swept and got back to the top. Kleber now playing a heavy collar control. Look at that
Man.
collar drag that he runs, man.
Yeah.
Now the omoplata from
Oh.
Kleber.
Really nice by Lopez, though, to cartwheel over and avoid that omoplata attack. Lopez just tries a flying pass.
Almost went.
Yeah.
Dude, Kleber just walks past him into the neon belly.
Yeah, Kleber's looking like a guy that has got about 10, 15, 20 more years of jiu-jitsu than Lopez right now. He's in total control.
Scooter says, hearing 10th Planet guys talk about gi chokes is such a weird feeling.
Yeah, Brandon said
Don't
clock
sleep on
choke,
me,
and I
fool.
went, oh, man.
Oh, shoot. Kleber steps back looking for a knee bar now. So he goes reverse knee on belly,
looking
now
for that
going to the
toe
toe
hold.
hold.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to get it.
yeah, he's going to get it.
Oh, he lost it.
Ooh.
And so now,
I wouldn't
let's
even
see.
say that was a product of good defense by Lopez.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
Dude, but Kleber never loses position, man. Look how he hits that spiral off to the
Yeah,
corner
really
every time
nice.
that he takes the back, man. He's just snapping him back, never letting him settle into his turtle. And he's back into this knee on belly again, and now he's looking for a cross collar. Dude, just domination. Look at this choke he's running here. He's got that hand in the far collar, and now he's going to look for the arm
Yeah.
lock. Man.
Man, Lopez, though, just keeps moving enough to stay alive. Now Lopez is on top of guard.
Well, you know what I like about Kleber's game here? It's very flowing, man. It's not.
Yeah.
He's throwing a lot of attacks, but like old school scissor sweep, dude.
Yeah, really nice scissor sweep. They're going to restart back in the middle. Lopez has a single leg X.
And Kleber just throwing like technique after technique after technique at him. and he never overcommits and like forces himself onto it. He just flows into the next part.
The
it's
kazushi
beautiful
that he's
jiu-jitsu.
creating with those grips is just beautiful. From the couple takedowns to, man, his guard work. I mean, that scissor sweep right there was just as good as it gets.
Guys, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit subscribe. You want to hit that bell so you get notifications from us when we go live or when we have a new video come out. And do us a favor, hit like on the video and then share. And let's see if we can push this thing up past 100 concurrent viewers. We've hit 1,000 2 weekends in a row, man.
Yeah.
We hit 1,000 for the ADCC stream for the Absolute, and we hit 1,000 last night for UFC 243, where Adesanya cleaned Whitaker's clock.
Yeah, so Kleber's on top right now.
Another
he was in a
pass.
chest pass position, just stepped around. He's going right to that spot he's been attacking from knee on belly. So Kleber's preferring setting up a lot of these attacks, knee on belly, getting that collar.
And now he's switching off to a north-south Kimura here. Ooh, he's got the Kimura locked up. Let's see if he can break the grips. He's got the north-south Kimura here against Lopez. This has been a dominant performance from Kleber Luciano.
Yeah, what's really interesting about knee on belly is it allows guys, especially when you really feel like you're better than an opponent.
Oh, look how he drives that shin in to assist with the grip break there.
Yeah, it's
See
really
that?
nice.
Knee on bicep.
Yeah, but the knee on belly really allows your opponent, when you feel like you're better than, to move and give you enough, it allows them to move and allows you to attack a bunch of different things. And so
Lopez
Kleber
survives.
is really just kind of allowing Lopez enough movement, and he's just flowing from position to position. He's already attacked, what, 4 or 5 different submissions?
Yeah, and oh, look at that arm lock switch. He goes from the cross collar to the arm lock and throws the arm over from side control. Oh, James Murillo says, hey guys, I was watching last night, still bummed about the Whitaker loss. Arm lock here. Oh, Luciano.
Yeah.
Kleber Luciano, beautiful. Man, that was a completely beautiful performance,
that looks like
dude.
a brand new blue belt comes from the other gym to come visit.
Yeah.
It looks like what that was.
Yeah, man. And he did it so, like, gracefully, dude.
Just out there having a good time.
That was good stuff, man. Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely a highlight reel performance. Some really nice takedowns, beautiful guard passing. He never stopped moving. So with all those
But
strikes,
he never used a lot of energy, though.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Flow.
it was just total letting Lopez hang himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he never overcommitted to something. And so he had plenty of energy to keep moving. And he's still not breathing. He's just like, whatever, man, I'm good.
Yeah. And that's what I really like, again, about the knee on belly, attacking from there, especially when you feel like you're, you've got a skill advantage on your opponent. It allows them to hang themselves. And you saw him set that arm lock up from knee on belly, and beautiful finish.
Thanks, man. Tem algum lugar passagem de graça. I don't know what that means, but I pretended like I knew how to read it in the chat. That was good. Did I fool you?
I think he said, what did you think about his guard passing?
Do you have anything? Lugar. I don't know what lugar is. I don't know what any of that means. Thought I might could figure it out, but I'm an idiot. I'm going to learn Portuguese. I'm for sure going to do it.
Yeah.
So we got those Brazilian kids down there with us at Spartan now. And if I'm going to teach them effectively, I'm going to have to learn.
Yeah, so tell them about
Portuguese.
the Brazilian guys down there, like the Brazilian culture down at Spartan right now.
It's kind of crazy, yeah. So, like, Eric Anders, his wife, so Eric fights in the UFC, he's light heavy. He's fighting this coming Saturday, actually. David, no, it's not on Flow Grappling. It's at worldjujitsufestival.com, and it's a $10 pay-per-view. It included yesterday and today. Hey, what's up, Tyrone? My boy is back.
What's up, Tyrone?
I feel like I'm going to make, before this is all said and done, I'm going to make Tyrone a mod. I feel like he deserves the power. He knows how to wield it gently. You know what I'm saying? He's not too harsh with it. He knows how to make it happen. Hey, what was I talking about just a second ago?
Brazilian culture.
Oh, yeah, at Spartan. So, yeah, Eric married a Brazilian chick. And then when we were down in Sao Paulo for when Eric and Ben fought last year, we got hooked up with a strength and conditioning coach down there. And so now he lives in Birmingham, and he's a strength and conditioning coach. So we got 2 Brazilians there. the strength and conditioning coach, his name is Kenny D. His uncle, his name is Roger Costa. Is that right, Costa? No, Coelho. Coelho was his last name. Costa is the guy from Alabama.
Yes.
That's the guy that you fought.
Yes.
What was he when you fought him? A 5th degree black belt, something like that?
4th degree black belt.
Yeah. Good job, Skaff. Anyway, that guy, Uncle Roger, he's like a 3rd or 4th degree black belt. He's Brazilian. And now they've made this connection. There's like 4 new Brazilian up-and-comers. They're all brown belts. They've all got deep Muay Thai background, and they're all on UFC's like prospect list to be on the Contender Series. One of them's already gotten a call. He hasn't been on yet, but they're looking to make a spot for him. So, yeah, it's a lot of Brazilians down there.
Yeah, definitely one of the up-and-coming MMA teams that a lot of people aren't talking about. I have 2 guys killing it in the UFC right now, and then there's a handful of other dudes down there that are right at that level, ready to start making a name for themselves.
Yeah, I think we got something really special cooking down there as far as MMA goes. Hey, what's up, Nick? That's right, son. I can say Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
I don't say Sao Paulo.
Yeah, if you guys just missed that match, Kleber Luciano just had a dominant performance over Tony Lopez. Looked fantastic. It's always awesome seeing a guy, from the older generation, just beautiful jiu-jitsu. Finished at the 8-minute mark with armbar.
Definitely. No problem. BMAC, homeboy is asking for a free link in Portuguese. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I definitely don't have one. Do you have Passando de Graça? Oh, okay. So not to pay. Is there a place going for free? Got it.
Oh, man.
Nice. Tawny K coming through. With a Flow Grappling subscription, are they also showing there in addition to the World Jiu-Jitsu Festival website? No, I don't think this is on Flow Grappling at all.
No, Flow Grappling, they're kind of the monopoly right now. So, no. They don't, yeah. And so there could be a pretty big event happening, and they
won't cover it at all.
So
Yeah.
that's
But we're
one of the
gonna.
big issues.
That's we're coming through. We're gonna start having the sports center for jiu-jitsu every weekend. I don't know. We can't do it every weekend just yet, but as we get better and better at this and build more and more experience and like resources, Skaff's gonna make a heck of a Stuart Scott when the time comes.
Scott.
When the time comes.
I love Stuart Scott. I hope I don't have the same fate though. Rest in peace, buddy. Seriously, I really liked.
Yeah,
Stuart Scott,
he's
man.
my favorite ever.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Gordon Ryan and Rousimar have not gone yet. So we're about here. I'll check the card again one time.
Nick, I think Nick's asking what type of creatine brand that Palhares takes, and honestly, I think he's on that off-brand stuff right now. He's
Yeah, it's not over the counter.
Yeah, he's looking nowhere near as big as he has in the past.
But don't act like he don't look like a jacked monster.
Yeah, but
He
looked like
he
the
just
Hulk.
don't look like Jerry King anymore. Jerry's twice his size across the chest, and Palhares used to be twice that size.
Yeah.
Palhares still looking jacked. Don't let Skaff fool you. He just looks a little like he's pounds down, like he had to make weight for this thing or something.
He looks 20 pounds lighter than he did.
He does, man, but he doesn't look weak. Look, he's still a tree trunk. Look at that, man. He doesn't look weak, I wouldn't say. Okay, so let's go order the fights. Ruben Rivera versus Freitas. That one already happened. We got a winner, Rodrigo Freitas, by decision or by points. Barbosa versus Victor Silverio. I don't know if that one's coming up later, but they skipped that one and went to Tony Lopez versus Kleber Luciano. And Luciano looked awesome. Total domination.
Yeah.
Like, it was a gi match, but it was actually pretty exciting because Kleber dominated so hard.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
fun. Looked like he had fun.
Yeah, and he was effortless, man. I was ultra impressed. I mean, like he needs like a 5th degree black belt needs us to sit over here be impressed by him. You know what I'm saying? But I was.
Very, yeah.
You know,
a couple
so-
of just all-around performance too. A couple of sweeps, a couple of really nice drop Sayanagi takedowns, and some really good attacks off of the knee on belly. Ooh, that's a good question.
What was it?
If you guys were creating a game plan for Palhares, what would you plan?
A stick. Always slept.
Yeah, I'd plant a sniper in the audience just in case things got sour.
No, honestly, if I'm Paul Harris, I'd make Gordon Ryan wrestle me. That's the only chance he has. I don't think Paul Harris is that strong of a guard passer, and I don't think he really stands a chance if he's going to engage Gordon's guard. He's going to really need to be explosive in the stand-up, and yeah, jump on legs. I mean, Paul Harris and those arms, if he grabs any type of leg lock submission, and Gordon's coming off of a knee surgery, those are kind of the two ways. He's going to have to leg lock, but especially really force Gordon to wrestle.
Tyrone Smith says, I got a black Dickie size 32. It's 2019, man. And even though we're from Alabama, I'm open to you doing whatever you want to do. And I think you should celebrate that and be proud.
Hey, Tyrone, though, respect for having a size 32 living in Georgia, bro. Most guys, that's a size 40 belt.
Oh, belt. Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah,
oh, gotcha.
So Tyrone's in pretty good shape. He's a size 32. That's what I'm getting at.
Jiu-Jitsu Bud Tempe. Hey, guys, what would y'all say is the #1 guideline to becoming or being a great teacher like y'all are? First of all, thanks. Appreciate that.
Oh, wow.
I was actually experiencing quite a bit of frustration this afternoon as I was in there trying to prepare my classes for the month. I was just going to go over, I don't know, man. I work hard on being a good teacher. And, yeah, I think you just got to work on being a great communicator. And you have to know your craft well. If you can't make an analogy, you probably don't understand it yourself. And you got to know what you're going to teach going in, have a good game plan, and be ready to say that you don't know the answer sometimes.
So two things that I would say. One is start mentoring as soon as possible. So, maybe you're a 4-stripe white belt, you're a new blue belt. Find 1 or 2 new guys and just start trying to teach them how to shrimp. You'll be shocked how hard it is the first time you try and talk somebody through just how to do a basic movement, let alone teach an entire class. And so I think the earlier you start taking 2, 3, 4 guys, and then you start teaching smaller classes, that's the basis, I think, of really learning how to teach. And then do not plan your classes, and do not just, hey, I hit this move yesterday, I'm going to try and teach it to your class. Make sure it's something you've been doing. I always tell guys that I'm only trying to teach stuff that I'm hitting on the highest level guys. And anytime I stray off that and try and go off of, my own game plan, generally the class doesn't turn out very well. So, yeah, stick to what you do, man.
I think that's good advice. And I think for me, the main thing is just be prepared, have a lesson plan. And it doesn't have to be written out necessarily, but I do find I do much better work not just when I write out my plan for what I'm going to do today, but I write out a lesson plan for how I want the month to look. And so I have a really particular system that I follow to put my curriculum together every month, which is, by the way, always available each month at my website. But you can get in on the free course that starts to start with. I'm going to put it in the chat right now, but it's www.nogihelper.com.
Abdul says, Skaff, are you full-time BJJ? Yeah, man, it's what I do full-time. I started at purple belt. I quit college and started training full-time. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, though. So I would never tell somebody, and I had like 140 hours, so I was really close to graduating, and I quit. I knew I wanted to do or pursue Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was very lucky to have like a position and a family that supported that. But yeah, do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu full-time. I just got back from a seminar. I was in the Middle East for almost 2 weeks teaching, which was super cool recently. And yeah, I'm always open and down to do seminars. Love training with all different types of people. So hit me up.
So nothing much going right now. We're waiting on the next match to get started. We're looking for... So the next one it says is going to be Barbosa versus Jonathan Alves. I don't know either one of these guys. Is this the guy you were talking about, Barbosa, or was
No.
it Guthierry?
Yeah, Guthierry Barbosa.
Guthierry. Man, I cannot say that name. Barbosa. 2 Barbosas. A lot of Barbosas. Too many Barbosas on the dance floor. Jonathan Alves. I don't know either one of these guys.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to be a gi match.
David, I was in Beirut. So there's a 10 planet in Beirut, and me and Slick Rick, one of Eddie's OG black belts, we went over there and taught one of his students, Slick Rick's students. If you guys don't know Slick Rick, he was the head coach at 1FC in Singapore. So he was the head 10th Planet No-Gi coach.
What was
there.
the name of that school? It wasn't 1FC. It's the guy that owns 1FC.
It's Evolve.
Yeah,
Evolve
Evolve.
MMA. So Evolve MMA, yeah, Chatri, he runs Evolve MMA, and he's always he's brought out like the Mendez Bros for a week seminar. He brings out Gordon Ryan and Donna here and Gary Tonin all the time. And just one of world class, maybe the best training gym in the world just for what they have. And anyways, Slick Rick was the head no-gi coach out there. And the guy from 10th Planet Beirut became a purple belt under Slick Rick. And he went back, opened up his gym, and he just got promoted to brown belt. So there's 2 brown belts now in Lebanon. One guy, he's an Atos guy. And the other guy is 10th Planet. So super cool.
Yeah, guys, this is not on Flow Grappling, so this is a separate pay-per-view. It's like, I think it was $9.90. We bought it yesterday. It covered both days.
Yeah.
Abdul Shah says, as a teacher, what makes the best students that go on to make great competitors? Well, in my experience, you teach everybody the same stuff for the most part. You teach everybody your best material. That's what I try to do. But some guys are willing to put in the extra hours, and they're willing to do the harder work. And honestly, a great competitor needs to be the better of an athlete you are, the better of a chance you're going to have to do well at the highest levels. I think we've kind of passed that time in jiu-jitsu. This time was still around when I started, and even when you started, this time was still around a little bit, where you could be a dude who had a full-time job and still became like a competitive world-class black belt at the highest level. Just a regular guy, you know, working a full-time job, and you can still throw down. I don't know that the highest level, I don't know that you can get to the highest level like that much anymore. I'm not saying you can't, but it's like we see guys like Thor's doing it.
Yeah.
Jared Dopp is doing it, I guess.
Thor's the example, you know. Thor just had he finished 4th at ADCC, and he works 40 to 50 hours as an electrician. I know he trains 4 to 5 times a week in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, but honestly, a lot of guys.
But that's an exception to the rule.
Yes,
it's an exception proving the rule, really, because he is so special because he does that, and nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, but I'm also hearing a lot of guys, like I know Gianni Grippo, he's training 5 days a week. And a lot of guys kind of are talking about how 7 days a week just destroys your body. So really and Eddie Bravo, he always said 4 days a week jiu-jitsu. Like he would tell an active competitor right now, do 4 days a week Brazilian jiu-jitsu hard and 3 days strength and conditioning. So you do need those couple of days rest. And I think the guys that train every day, what you'll find is over the course of a year, 2, 3, you're going to break your body down. So it's important to take that rest time, especially having 1 or 2 days every week where you're resting.
All right, so we got a couple of guys walking out here for this gi match. I don't know either one of these guys, but homeboy has got a black AOJ gi on. So we'll have to see who these guys are. I don't recognize either one of them just by looks. Okay, here we are. KAUAN Barbosa versus Jonathan Alves. And I don't know who's who right here, man,
I
to
want
be
to
honest
say
with you.
Jonathan Alves.
I'm going to turn it up and see if we can catch it.
Yeah, he's one of the head instructors at AOJ. I mean, obviously he's wearing Arty Jiu-Jitsu, but I've seen the name before. I've never seen him compete, but I'm pretty sure he teaches a bunch of classes at AOJ. So, yeah, you're going to expect to see what you're seeing. A lot of De La Hiva and a lot of Rafa Mendez and Guillermo Mendez influence.
Okay, so Alves then, we're going to call Alves the AOJ guy. So I might just call him AOJ.
Interesting commentary team they have.
Who was that?
Clark Gracie and Samir Chantry.
Oh, that was Samir. I knew Clark Gracie. He's too beautiful to not recognize. He is a handsome fella. Okay, so we're kind of in a double De La Hiva battle here. They're playing for the pants legs. And we got an inversion looking for the Berimbolo on the outside. And it's being countered with a bit of kind of what we might call an Irimi Ashi, for those of you that are familiar with the leg terminology. That's a game that I've been playing a bunch lately. That's the only way I'm able to stop you from stomping through my guard. Is I have to play that Irimi Ashi with you right now with the butterfly hook on the other side. Not the same exact position these guys are playing here. These guys much more concerned with controlling the pants legs and making sure they have the end of the lever so that they can steer the guard away from them into leg drags and toreandos as they come up. Sometimes I talk so much I run out of breath.
Yeah. Clark Gracie is so hot right now.
Mr. Mugatu, Mr. Mugatu.
Mr. Omoplata. That comment was from Nick, but I think at least half the chat was thinking.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh yeah, Brandon John Blank works a full-time job. That's what I'm saying. He's an exception to the rule. Alves now trying to Berimbolo underneath. Oh, he's going to get the back. He's got it.
Excellent back take.
Oh, now he's going to turn it into a truck. He doesn't quite have it. He's looking for the second hook now. First hook in, second hook. They roll off the mat into the banner. The referee's just going to let him run. He didn't even try to stop him. I don't even know if he said anything to him. He was taking a nap. All right, so checkmate versus AOJ, and I don't know. Are they going to start him back over at on the feet here? He was basically on the back, and homeboy just retreated out of bounds.
So there's a guy, a kid from AOJ that's the future. His name's Tynan Dafra. I know I completely said that wrong, but he just got his brown belt, and he is absolutely incredible. So he's one of the Art of Jiu-Jitsu young up-and-coming guys, and I think we're going to see him win some world championships in the next couple of years. So definitely a name to look out for. Tynan.
Kind of keeping him closed off from that position. Now he goes double leg drag to the outside, and he's going to look to the back of Alves here. Now into the leg drag from the checkmate player, Barbosa. Total inversion here from Alves, trying to stay alive and prevent the pass, and he does, man. Barbosa has to retreat, and he's now standing, looking to pass the seated guard of Alves. 3 minutes and 35 seconds into the match. Ooh, aggressive guard pulls. Barbosa rushes to the bottom position.
And honestly, I think you can have a full-time job and get to a really close to the top, and I think then you just switch to being a full-time.
To being full-time from there. Okay, I'm into that.
What I think.
I'm into that. I think that's the best path too.
I honestly don't think Thor could be the best in the world
until
on
he
the
stops.
path he was. But now you know what he did? He opened up a school. He's he's just on fire right now. See, dude. Definitely the favorite for CJJ 185, right?
I would think so, man. He's the champ,
dude. I mean, from the
and
names
he's looking
I've seen,
he's looking like he can fight with strikes without taking punches, without taking strikes. He can sub in that rule set, and if they just want a straight grapple and he's got a gangster in there, he can play like that too. It turns out. So Ben Kogan said, "Who's the greatest grappler of all time?" It's Roger Gracie. He always says Hoffman Mendez.
No. I'm actually thinking, man, that's a really tough question.
It's not. It's Roger Gracie. It's either Teddy Roosevelt or Roger Gracie. One of the two. What are you laughing at over there, Jones? You know the truth about Teddy. All right, we're 5 minutes deep, and Alves now has the closed guard. He's broken the posture of, Barbosa playing the closed guard. He's got the overhook on the left side, and he's reaching through and grabbing the opposite collar, Elio Gracie style. That's an old school guard attack there. And he may be looking to take his right hand, set in a, yes, he's looking for that old school Gracie collar choke. Now he reaches under, keeping that overhook very active on the left side and thinking about digging under into a flower sweep type position. As he does this, Alves begins to work the gi open, and he now has the lapel on the left side, and he's looking to pass that underneath, set a grip, and start trying to do a Sao Paulo pass from there.
That Sao Paulo pass is so powerful. I remember when guys in no-gi at our gym, they would pass that hand underneath, And, man, I can only imagine in the gi when you get that cloth underneath. Really dominant pass.
Jiu-Jitsu Bud says, y'all have any recommendations for lodging while out-of-towners come for a week or so? Brian and JD are actually here. They come in from out of town like once a month to stay, and so they would be the guys to ask. They like the Red Roof Inn.
Or Airbnb.
Yeah, a couple of decent
Coming solo.
Airbnbs around here, actually, yeah.
There's a
It's
bunch
real
for, like,
quiet.
$28, $27 a night.
Yeah, I would say Airbnb.
Yeah, everything's cheap down here, man. So, you know, and there's nothing else to do. You're just going to come and train, so just prepare yourself for that. Hey, what's the nightlife like? We train.
Yeah.
Oh, where do y'all like to go eat? Chick-fil-A, and then we go train.
Yeah,
like,
whatever. Yeah, we do a lot of training.
we just train, so there's not going to be a whole lot to do. This match is really stalled out, as gi matches tend to do from time to time when two guys are evenly matched. Barbosa's still working that closed guard. Now, Alves has split it open with his knee, and it's going to be a half guard. A lockdown here on the outside from Barbosa on the bottom. Lockdown in the gi, a real problem, but the check mat player now switching off to that Lucas Lech style half, and he's going to get past right here. Alves cuts through the guard and now into side control at the 7-minute and 5-second mark.
Yeah, so we have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left before that 10-minute hits. And right now, Alves almost taking the back, just got his guard pass. Barbosa's going to need to do some work if he wants to avoid losing this decision.
Yeah, and Alves now getting the lapel, and he's starting to set in some serious grips here. He may be thinking about this bread cutter choke or a Bravo here. He's working a Bravo of his own.
I can only
He starts to pull his own
imagine
gi
how
out
bad
here.
that bread cutter choke is in the gi.
Will Calkins says, have you guys bought any of those Danaher instructionals? Yeah, man. I got several of them. I think, you know, as somebody who's, I mean, the thing that I'm most interested in is teaching jiu-jitsu to people, like spreading good, clear, crisp, quality jiu-jitsu, and having my team be good at it, be able to translate it, even the, you know, kind of casual day-to-day players. Bravo choke coming here from Alves. Oh, look at this choke he's working here. Look at this loop. Oh, my God, nasty.
Yeah, he's going to get that.
Oh, he's definitely going to strangle him right there. This is a disgusting choke here. Alves,
Yeah,
oh, he got him.
tap.
Wow, what an entanglement. That was beautiful, dude. Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know enough about the gi to give a name for that, but I know how he set it up, going underneath the lapel there and coming out the backside. That was insane, bro. That was kind of like the sugar hole, but with the gi coming out the other side. That was nasty.
Yeah, definitely nasty. You saw it almost like that was almost like a hanging, like he was pulled up. By
Yeah,
the
that was
neck.
disgusting.
Disgusting.
All right, so Alves takes it. But yeah, so as somebody whose mission is to spread jiu-jitsu in as efficient and effective way as possible, I think it's irresponsible for somebody like John Danaher to have some material out there and for me to not have studied it. You know, I'm not saying everybody should, but somebody with my goal set has to. So if there's something out there and I'm not staying updated on it, then shame on me, man. I think if you're a professional coach and you're not studying that material, then you're not, it's not even that you have to study it to teach it to them, but you need to know for yourself what's going on in the modern jiu-jitsu game, or you're not prepared to teach your guys. So whether you like Danaher or don't, whether you like Eddie Bravo and 10th Planet or don't, whether you like the Atos guys or don't, you have to understand what they're doing, or you're not able to prepare your people, your training partners, your students to be the most effective grapplers that they can be. So yeah, I've got them. That's the answer to the question. Está falando que daqui 20 minutos. I don't know what that. I almost know what that means. We have to speak. Falando, they speak for another 20 minutes. They've been talking for 20 minutes. They're gonna. Dang it! I'm not sure what it says. If you buy it, are you allowed to share it? Talking about the pay-per-view or the Danaher stuff. No. I mean, that's definitely not. Yeah, somebody puts out an instructional. I mean, you can do what you want to do. It's 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's sharing everything.
Yeah,
technically it's not legal, and you know, I don't know. Do what you got to do. if you want to buy my stuff and share it, you can do that. You know, just do something good with the money you would have spent on it. Just do something nice for somebody or something. But it sure wouldn't hurt my feelings if you just send me the money, though, and be nice to me. That would help.
Yeah, it's one of those tricky things.
For a lot of these guys, how do you want to make a living in jiu-jitsu? Right? How do you want to make money and do this full time? Well, teaching's how you do it. So why would you steal from someone else?
Yeah, bro. And I just think it's so weird that the jiu-jitsu community is like, yo, we got to support the sport. Why won't the sport grow? Because y'all steal everything from all the teachers. Like, everybody steals everything from all the coaches.
I don't think that's fair. I think what a lot of it is that most guys, the jiu-jitsu lifestyle is really kind of seen as it's cool to be, I don't want to say poor, but I don't think jiu-jitsu guys understand their value yet, and kind of they undervalue the art in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of academies undercharge. A lot of guys really struggle on the business side of things. I think it's really more of a business problem than it is, you know, I think that's where it really starts, is with how most guys are running the academies.
Will Calkins, he said, I was about to ask you if you got the back attack one, would you hook me up? No.
I'll show you what I learned.
Yeah, you come by here, I'll hook you up. Let's see, who else was saying it? So David says, so your new leg lock instructional is informed by your experience and other people's teachings. That's correct. Yes, absolutely. And I've been playing leg locks for a long time, man. I feel like I was in on the leg lock game way before most people knew what was going on. We had people coming down and teaching, like Sambo guys coming down and teaching like week-long leg lock camps. When I was a blue belt, I was bringing down guys from wherever I could get them. And so we were diving deep into that Sambo style leg locking early on.
Yeah, that was always, you know, 10th Planet. The biggest thing is how open. There's never a rule that's like, you can't try this move or you can't try this. It's very free, and sometimes that can actually hurt 10th Planet because guys are so willing to just go off on rabbit holes. But that's where a lot of the gold does come from, is, you know, you have guys working on, maybe it's a new Gogoplata finish or even like bottom side control stuff. And a lot of associations, or schools I should say, it's really more the school, the instructor goes, no, that doesn't work, just do what I do. 10th Planet, you know, guys of, and Eddie's really, really big into letting guys just experiment and do what they want. All he asks though is, and all we ask from the students is get results, you know. Make sure that you're getting live results and then do whatever you want.
And guys, if you're interested in having a look at my leg lock instructional, it's only $39. We start, it's for sale now, and there's some already, all the stuff that actually was in Leg Lock Academy that I taught in Leg Lock Academy when we released that. That's already up inside the new leg lock module, the new leg lock course. But we start filming tomorrow, and we'll have 8 more, so about 2 more hours worth of HD footage coming into that module in the next 30 days, and then you'll have access to it forever. So I just posted the link there in the chat. If you're interested in it, check it out. $39 is a lot cheaper than most of the leg lock stuff that's out there, and I promise to give you homework and results if you'll do it.
Well,
If they do the homework, they'll get better. Like,
Yeah, well, kind of tell them about your experience doing it. Here, slide in here. Make a little sales pitch for me. Tell them about your experience running the curriculum with us, because you live in North Carolina. You come down like once a month or so, but kind of tell them who you are and like what you're up to.
So it's Brian Ashland from Road Combat Club. You know, been hanging out with BMAC for a while. Come down as often as I can, but the courses, I did your truck module, and then about halfway through it had a super fight, brown belt, well respected in the community. Hit that samurai roll like twice and finished with a twister. It was awesome.
So tell them, like, what was it that gave you the confidence to be able to get out there and pull that off on a brown belt?
Yeah.
The reps, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's the reps. Like I've got the whole Danaher system at the house. I've got a bunch of Craig Jones instructionals and you know, probably another dozen DVDs just sitting at the house. Some I've watched, some I haven't. But it's not just, here's this information. It's, hey, do this. Drill it. drill it, learn it, drill it, clean it up. You get feedback on your techniques, feedback on the videos you submit. Like, no, like, come on, Brian, you're being lazy. Do it right. So yeah, it's gonna hold you accountable. It's gonna build you. It's gonna boost you to the next level. Well worth it.
Appreciate it, big dog. And you crushed it at the tournament this weekend too, by the way.
So close.
Well, it was pretty good,
good,
man. You won the heavyweight, the super heavy.
Yeah, I
and
won
then you got
both weight classes.
Yeah, the gi and no gi. And then you got. Did you place in the absolute, or did you lose in the semi?
Lost
or quarter.
Quarter.
It was a pretty.
Round, so.
Oh no, not 39 Hayais. It's 9. It's 39 US dollars. The other way around.
Or
Tyrone
39
Smith says I
Bitcoins.
had the same conclusions. Oh shoot, hold on. Experienced Optimist sends in $5. What's going on? All right, here's a question. All right, there's a question. We're gonna let Brian handle this one from Experienced Optimist. I'll shy in with my opinion too.
Where's the question?
Why did so many people shy away from leg locks when in a street fight they could save your life? First of all, this assumes that leg locks could save your life and work in a street fight. Do you believe that premise to be true? Answer it, Brian.
In a street fight, I'm
Yes.
never going to the ground.
Here.
In a street fight, never going to the ground. No, like if I'm getting my face stomped in, maybe, but it's not plan A or plan B or plan C, plan D. Like I want to get on top and I want to get away. Right? Street fight. I might throw a beer bottle somewhere in
Well,
the
what
middle
if,
of
is
that,
there
but-
ever a situation where you could see yourself doing a leg lock in a street fight?
Oh yeah, that's when I'm losing and I'm on the ground and he's stomping my face in. You might throw up a single leg X.
What do you think, Skaff? Is there ever a situation where you would leg lock?
Opponent is. So it's just so tough to say. The guy could be 250 pounds and a D1 athlete, or he could just be a drunk guy that's 170 pounds that's just out of his mind at the gas station. And I think each scenario, you're going to need some different skill sets. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a scenario.
Sorry. There we go. Sand. Bang. Okay. Street fights. Are leg locks in a street fight? I mean, I think if you can do leg locks in an MMA fight, you can do them in a street fight. And we know that they work in an MMA fight. Now, a lot of people don't train them. A lot of people don't use them. And nothing that you don't have proficiency with works in a real situation.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
arm
saying
locks
they
don't
won't
work in a street. No, I'm talking to the straw man that says never leg lock, right? Oh, I would never do that. I would never pull guard. Well, if you're not good at a thing, it won't work in any situation unless the guy's giving you, like, he's feeding you reactions and stuff, So whether, arm lock, rear naked choke's great for a street fight. Well, not if you suck at back control and rear naked chokes, it's not. It's a good way to get slammed on your head. Double leg, dude, I would just use my wrestling in a street fight. Well, not if you suck at wrestling, you'd end up with your face in the concrete. You know what I'm saying? So there's no secret move that does or does not work. There's no, what would you do in a street fight? I would try to use my hours and hours and hours of experience to keep myself safe. And I think that's the main thing that I would do in a street fight. I'm not looking to win a street fight. I'm looking to make sure I don't get hurt or killed. So, and sometimes a leg lock's the path of least resistance to do that.
I've seen 3 or 4 videos where guys get heel hooks. One in particular, a purple belt from Alliance HQ. He was playing basketball, and I guess there was a hard foul. Guy started fighting, and he ended up getting the guy in 50-50 and just telling him, hey, man, I'm going to break your leg, and he says it with some harsher words than that. But, yeah, it definitely works.
Well, I would say I don't get in a street fight very often. In fact, I don't ever get in street fights. But I do train with the number 11 UFC heavyweight in the world twice a week. And he tries to hit me in my face. And he's about 275 pounds walking around, a D1 athlete. So I do leg locks on him because sometimes it's the only thing that I can do. So
Yeah, and man, one of the biggest arguments that I hate is that like sports jiu-jitsu guys can't defend themselves on the street. And dude, who are they fighting in the street? Like, where are these just insanely skilled brawlers that are just everywhere? Again, if we're thinking about just the odds that you face some guy that's been in 100 street fights, it's insanely low. You know, most guys that you're going to end up fighting are going to be guys that are generally out of their mind. They're on some types of substance. They're going to be drunk, and those guys are going to be way easier to deal with, just because they're lacking the coordination, they're lacking the mindset, and they've never trained before either. So yeah, I just tell guys, have a simple takedown, 1 or 2 takedowns that you're comfortable with getting. Make sure you're comfortable on bottom and top, and make sure you can get pins. You can control, and you obviously need to have the skill if you need to hurt somebody really bad to do it.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that you can escape a headlock. Like most jiu-jitsu places now, I don't think they actually teach how to do that properly against resistance, or even at all against resistance. If it's talked about as part of our self-defense curriculum. But I'm telling you, man, if we saw it yesterday in a purple belt division, actually, that a purple belt was hanging onto a headlock trying to keep a point that he had earned, and there was a guy that could not get out of that headlock I think it was purple belt. Am I remembering correctly? Don't call the names.
Yeah.
It was purple belt?
It was.
Okay. And then he couldn't get out, and then finally he moved his body in like the way that would have been proper to do for the self-defense kata, and all of a sudden he was free and he was on top. So I'm telling you, man, you need to train and think about how to defend headlocks from standing, from the ground, top and bottom, against resistance. You need a headlock from all angles and all positions if you have any interest in actually saying that you know self-defense. Okay, I'm done with self-defense talk. All right, here we go. Got to worry about his homies kicking in the head while you're down. Yep.
Definitely.
Nick says, in my experience, most jiu-jitsu guys avoid fights in general. I definitely avoid fights. Ivan Rodriguez says, street fight in Rio, run or get a gun. Yup, I feel that. I'm not ever trying to get in a street fight. I'm trying to go places where people don't street fight, like jiu-jitsu. Nobody get in street fights at jiu-jitsu. Nobody gets in street fights at Six Flags. Nobody gets in street fights where I'm taking my kids to the water park or whatever, dude. So I don't be going out to the clubs and stuff too much. Sherma, what if you got in a street? Okay, I'm done with the street fight stuff.
Yeah, listen, we don't train 6 days a week for street fights.
Yeah.
Or anything. Not why we're
If I can't handle myself in a street fight situation, I would be shocked. I would be shocked because I do it pretty much every night in beginner's class. People who don't train come at me as hard as they can.
Hey, Tuesday, 10 a.m. We'll find out how you do in a street fight.
That's a great point. Every what is it? We do it 3 times a year or 3 times a year? Is it once a quarter now?
3 times a year it seems to be.
We have a thing we call Warrior Week, and there's a group of guys that they pay this organization to basically put them through like a hell week, where it's like they do like marriage counseling and job counseling and stuff like that. So they're trying to break these guys mentally, and then part of that experience is they bring them here for 2 hours 3 days a week, and they say break them. These guys have never trained, and all we do is roll with them for 2 hours 3 times a week, and they've never trained before. And these guys, they think they're tough, and they think that they don't understand. They go so hard, they're trying their best, and I'm telling you, man, it's the funnest. That's my favorite part of the year.
Yeah, it's really eye-opening for white and blue belts that get to participate in that. Guys that have been training about 1.5 years, 2 years, where, we've had guys in that group that played college football, that are athletes, that are CrossFit guys, and, the white and blue belts are just shocked at the level of dominance and what they can do to a guy that's not trained. So, yeah, it's, like Brian said, we're not training 6 days a week for street fights, though.
Let's see, what was that one? I appreciate that, Jeremiah. He said we're dropping that knowledge. David Seagrave says Krav Maga for self-defense. No offense to any of you that train Krav Maga out there. I actually know, I have one person I know that makes me think that maybe there's real Krav Maga, because he's a real martial artist and he likes Krav Maga. He knows what he's talking about. But I think that anything that you don't train with real resistance is not appropriate for self-defense. And so if you're talking about scratching somebody's eyeball out, or ripping somebody's nose off, or tearing their ear off, or snatching their balls out, and you're not doing that if you're going to tell me that you would rip my groin and you don't have a jar of ripped groins on your mantle from all the practice that you've done, then don't tell me that you're going to do it when the fight starts. If you can't do it in a training situation against a resistant opponent, you can't do it when the fight comes. So no, I don't actually have any confidence in Krav Maga for self-defense, unless you've got some deep Muay Thai or Jiu Jitsu background. Muay Thai, I say, or wrestling, you better know how to grapple. That's what I'm telling you. And you better know how to grapple at a high level if you're going to start. Because the first time you touch my eyeballs, I'm going to rip yours out, because I got a better position. I can get them. You can't.
Yeah, so there's a pretty famous story of Bas Rutten. He was teaching a seminar, and a Krav Maga guy was kind of like, well, that rear naked choke wouldn't work on me, because I would just gouge your eye. And so Bas Rutten brought him out there, and he goes, okay, I'm going to put you in a rear naked choke, and I want you to gouge my eye out. And he told the guy, he whispered in his ear, and he said, if you try and rip out my effing eye, I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna break your
He
neck."
whispered in
And
there.
that guy did not try and rip his eye out. So
Jeremiah Jones says, I agree, all martial arts are for clowns. Hey, wait a minute. Oliveira.
Yeah, so really, I'm not sure which one's which. I've never heard of either one of these gentlemen, but man, really good Torianda pass right there.
Except he didn't pass.
Except he didn't pass, yeah. Real close to passing.
So we got this match going here, and then I believe we've got Gordon and Palhares coming up after this, unless they're going to backtrack into that Barbosa versus Silverio fight. Victor Silverio.
Diego Olivier is pulled guard. Really calm, nice, relaxed
You
guard.
sure that's him?
Yeah,
on the
I
bottom?
saw it on the back of his gi.
Got you. So Diego Oliveira. I don't know. Oliveira, that's what I'm going to say. Versus, and it says Paulo Costa. It ain't the Paulo Costa we're thinking about. He was in Australia last night talking trash to Adesanya. So, different guys.
Yeah. Paulo Costa's guard passing, though, looks really good. Both guys, though, really calm. This is the co-main event, so I'm assuming they're really good. They both look good, so.
We got a stall on the match.
Yeah, a little blood from the nose.
His nose is bleeding?
Yeah, he got hit. Diego just hit him a little bit in that guard, that pass.
Oh, yeah, he's just got a little nosebleed going there.
So.
He'll probably be okay. He seems to be fine.
Oh, we got Eddie Bravo in the chat.
Oh, my God, the real live Eddie Bravo. Send it to my phone. Send it to my phone. What's up, coach? Eddie's spamming the chat. Send it to my phone. Y'all show some respect to the man, the legend, my coach, my friend, Eddie Bravo, hanging out in the chat.
Eddie, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Eddie did. One of the legends of the sport.
He's my boo bear. He's my legend. All right. Here we go. We're down to the last fight before Gordon and Palhares start. Pictures while we bond. Luz Valencia. Yes, I want to watch you guys watch something and talk about it. Thumbs down. No, the bout hasn't started yet. The card has started, but the Gordon-Ryan match hasn't started yet.
Yeah, this is the co-main event. So the next match will be Gordon Ryan versus Palhares. So these matches are 10 minutes, referee decision. So we'll see what happens.
It's not on Flow Grappling. It's actually, if you want to watch the event, it's worldjujitsufestival.com. It's $9.90 for the pay-per-view, but that started yesterday. Eddie says, play your guitar and sing. We got to wait till the thing's over. I got you, coach. Johnny Gladiator Cage says, I snuck into Metamoris one time in Hollywood. Hussein Ali says, I go to a Hoyler Gracie affiliate and I pull out the electric chair all the time. Are you just trying to impress Eddie now, man? We can't show you the match, man. We're just here to hang out and kind of give you the results of it. If we show you the stream, we're going to get pulled. I mean, World Jiu-Jitsu Festival probably ain't going to pull us, but, you know,
hey man,
they got to make their money, too.
They got Clark Gracie on commentary, dude.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, they probably pay a pretty dollar to get Clark Gracie. He's a handsome devil. All right, so we got this outside De La Riva on the bottom here. He's looking to invert. He's going to go underneath, try for this Berimbolo now. Good grip on the pants leg. Going to this crab ride coming up now. He's going to come up into this outside DOA, and he's going to try a toe hold here maybe. Good. Now switching off to the DOA and standing over the opponent now. This is Oliveira on top?
Yes, yeah.
Oliveira
nice
on top
Diego.
now. He got the sweep, and Costa's looking to pass him off into 50-50, but Oliveira is doing a great job of keeping his legs straight and keeping the weight distributed in such a way that it keeps him from getting tipped over with this big outside sweep.
Yeah, and again, we saw right there, without the threat of points, the Berimbolo is going to be much tougher. Paulo Costa just sat to his butt and gave the sweep up. But we have 3.5 minutes left. Diego, I guess with that one sweep, he has the advantage for the ref's decision.
Yeah, he's looking to work this waiter sweep, man. Oliveira doing a great job. He's keeping his weight distributed on the opposite side of the waiter right there. And so it's keeping, okay, now as he starts to try to come back to his feet, that's going to be an opportunity for Costa to start to, here he goes. Here he goes. He works the waiter sweep, and now he's going to come up.
Sweep.
Nice job, man. A really slick sweep. And Oliveira now going to try to use this to turn and go into the back again. And he gets the sweep on his own. Man, back and forth, and now the stand-up, we're going back to the feet here. 3 minutes to go, and these dudes are going back and forth, man.
Yeah, I figured Diego was going to sit guard again. Really working that De La Riva. Excellent waiter sweep there by Paulo Costa.
Man, everybody's pumped to have Eddie in the chat. That is pretty cool, man. You have Jiu-Jitsu royalty stopping in for just to hang out. That's pretty dope, man. How cool is Eddie?
Eddie's pretty cool, dude.
Who else stops in on rando chats like that and starts typing stuff?
Yeah, I saw Eddie he was posting a little bit of some leg lock knowledge, or just doing a little.
Was he doing his his weirdo leg lock he's doing from the Reap right now? Have you seen that?
No.
Dude, I gotta show it to you. He did it to me, and it's pretty nasty.
Okay.
So he's reaping, and he's not tying the knot necessarily, but he's reaping and then dropping you to that side, and he overhooks and straight ankles the other leg.
Okay.
It's nasty. It hurts real bad.
Okay.
Real bad.
So he's controlling the other leg then.
So
what you're
let's
saying
say
is
let's
got
say
the leg lock.
I'm reaping with my right leg against your left, and he knocks you to your butt with the reap.
Okay.
And then he overhooks the other ankle. And so he reaps, ties it all up, and pins you with that reap, and then he attacks the straight on the other leg while the weight is down on it. It's nasty. All your weight is there on it. Zach Maslany, it's more jiu-jitsu royalty. Boycott I you, Zach. If y'all don't know what's going on with Zach Maslany and J.M. Holland, Thor, Grace, all that squad, Zach Edwards, there's a big squad in Bethlehem doing big things, man. Hey, actually, I'll go ahead and let y'all know. I hadn't even told nobody else this yet, but so our 10-year anniversary as a school is coming up in the spring.
Okay.
And I'm bringing Zach and JM for the whole weekend, and they're going to kind of be our big celebration thing.
You talk about, probably the best coaches in 10th Planet, right?
Yeah, maybe them, Boogie and
Gio.
I think you probably got to make the argument for Zach and JM at this point. They're producing Thor. They're producing themselves. They're producing Grace.
Well, they started that
Zach
school
Edwards
as,
I know it said those guys, Zach's on the come up, dude. People,
Yeah.
like, he's just a fresh little purple belt right now, I think. But
Oh man,
he's
yeah,
on the
Zach's-
come
He's been
up.
killing it.
He's on the come up.
Yeah, that toe hold he does from 50-50. I think he calls it the Russian toe hold.
It's
I mean,
nasty,
I've seen
man.
him break a few dudes' feet like that. It's
Nasty.
disgusting.
Ben Kogan says jiu-jitsu doesn't work. Aikido is the way. Hey, man, watch yourself.
Hey, Brandon's
Well,
learned
why is he
a couple of really
fast, though?
good things from Aikido, right?
Yeah.
So
I think, man, if you have a real martial art, I don't by real, I mean like, you know, things that spar with resistance, like Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo, sambo, something like where you spar, boxing. And if it's a grappling art, I think that's even better if that's your base, like wrestling or jiu-jitsu specifically. But if you have those that you can lean back on, you have mastery of those, then I do think you can start adding things like Krav Maga and Aikido and take some of the techniques, but build them in, like weave them into your already established philosophy that you know works. So like an Aikido wrist lock. Well, that's kind of whack when you do it out in space against a standing opponent. But all of a sudden, when you got him pinned on the ground and you walk through those same mechanics and he can't retreat anymore, a little wrist lock from Aikido becomes super powerful. Trust me, I use it all the time. So, yeah.
Paulo's going for kind of a belly down straight ankle lock.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to finish
Yeah.
that. Neither of these guys really been able to work an effective. Jeremiah Jones says Aikido. I bet you'd masturbate to Steven Seagal, you creep. That seemed aggressive.
Watching.
That felt aggressive.
Keep it wholesome.
Mikey Big Book.
Ooh.
Okay, Ivan Rodriguez coming in with a little inside knowledge here. He says Palhares has been training at Honorio CT since the fight against Craig Jones, and he's very prepared for this fight. Very interesting. Look, man, he doesn't look as big as he did. I'm sorry, I keep hiccuping in the mic. He doesn't look as big and thick as he did, say, in his matchup against Gordon, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So, or even Craig, maybe. So, it should be interesting. About 20 seconds to go here in this match, and then I believe that Gordon and Palhares are coming up after that. So, you guys give this thing a share, give it a like, etc. Tyrone says, Jeremiah also won $230K last night on the main event. Yeah, I feel you, Tyrone. Feel you.
Yeah, so Ivan, how I kind of see this fight, Gordon Ryan's probably going to pull guard. If, and I think Palhares is going to have a real tough time passing Gordon's guard, but I think he has a big advantage in the wrestling department. I think Palhares is one of the strongest wrestlers in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think that's where he needs to get this fight, is he needs to get Gordon standing up, needs to make it more of a wrestling bout. And, I mean, Palhares grabs anybody's leg, he can make him tap. But I'm interested to see Palhares. Because he's had some phenomenal matches. His ADCC run was beautiful where he got
That was
silver.
2011, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that match with, and then, you know, he's had an interesting MMA career, but a lot of submissions right there in his MMA career. But, yeah, his last fight with Craig Jones was very boring. So I'm hoping to see a much more motivated Palhares. So, great to hear. Zach said he's going to bring down Grace.
Oh, when you come down, that'll be dope.
Yeah, super dope.
Is she a vampire?
Is she a vampire? No, dude. She's a cyborg.
Okay.
She's a real cyborg. Like the cyborg that always gets upset and cries after he loses and stuff. He's not a cyborg. That's too much emotion for a cyborg. Grace is an actual cyborg. No human emotion. She's just there for murder.
Oh, you're talking about the cyborg.
Yeah.
I was like,
The cyborg from jiu-jitsu that he's always upset when he loses. And he, oh my God, I don't do this for my fight. You know, that kind of, like the way he acted after the ADCC match. I finally went back and watched that, and I was just like embarrassed for him, to be honest with you. So,
well, really the match with him and Gordon where he was slapping Gordon.
That was another one,
Gordon
dude.
Ryan. That was a really bad representation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I just think respect and being a role model as Cyborg is, it's not a good look.
Yeah. So anyway, that's too much emotion to be a real Cyborg. He's not a real Cyborg. Grace, real Cyborg. No human emotion.
I've never seen her in sunlight.
Just straight murder. That's what lives in her heart. Murder and like Minecraft tutorials.
Minecraft.
Let me know before Johnny so I can request that whole week off.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Jiu-Jitsu Bud says, let me introduce you to a legend named Jean-Claude Van Damme. Bro, let me introduce you to him because I met him and hung out with him, bro. I got to hang out with him on set. That was cool. He is not very big. He's a tiny little fella.
That's really shocking.
He's shorter than me, and I'm not that big. Man.
Like
I'm
in
5'8".
Bloodsport, if you told me in Bloodsport he was 6'2",
Dude, they'd be
just
filming
jacked.
from down here.
I know, dude. That leg's all the way up there. I'm like, dude.
Dobby
could
says, you
kick.
guys are awesome for doing this. I watched both days of ADCC with you guys and felt like I was there.
Oh, dope, Dobby.
Thanks, man.
Nice to have you back, brother. Yeah, main event's coming up. Palhares versus Gordon Ryan. So Gordon Ryan, I think he's competing 4 or 5 weekends in a row. So again, if you're a big Gordon Ryan fan, look out the next couple tonight and the next couple of weekends for a lot of Gordon action.
David Seagraves, Triumph Krav Maga there is legit. Okay. Well, like I said, man, I got a friend named Josh down in the Tampa area, and he's a real martial artist, dude. He knows he's a solid Muay Thai practitioner. He's a solid jiu-jitsu guy. He's a pretty good brown belt, man, and he's got students that he's brought up in jiu-jitsu. I've rolled with him. Like, he knows jiu-jitsu, so I trust him, and he loves Krav Maga. Loves it. Like, really is into it. So that makes me have more confidence that there is some good Krav Maga out there. So I'll take your word for it on this case, David, because I'll be honest with you, I ain't going to go check it out. I'm focused, bro. I'm all, oh my God, what just happened? We lost the stream.
Pippin, what'd you do?
I didn't do it.
I think he did do that.
I will take blame, but
Okay, you did it for sure. Oh my God, dude, did they log us out? Is this real?
Hey, Issa, thanks for the commentary again, guys. I'm not spinning. Love the ADCC show, too. Thanks, brother. We appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to be doing this a lot more often, so stay tuned.
Okay, we didn't miss anything. Good news, guys. Oh, we missed Paul Yaris rambling on in Portuguese. What's he talking about? Something cray-cray. Dude, what happened? The TV flipped off too. Oh shoot, we got another super chat. Issa Mahalski,
Yeah,
thanks for the commentary again, guys. Oh, you already did it. I'm not spinning. Love the ADCC show too. Appreciate that, guys. Man, thank y'all so much, dude. That's crazy.
You didn't make the noise.
I'm not gonna make the noise, dude. I think I gotta get a soundboard. The noise feels weird when I do the noise. It doesn't feel like it comes from the heart. You know? I gotta find a noise that comes from the heart. But I like doing this part. Wob, 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 super chat. I don't like the cha-ching part at the end.
Yeah, it seems a little cheesy, dude.
Yeah, it's a little cornball. But I like doing this. Wob, 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 super chat.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, I'll do that every time. I won't say every time. I play it how I feel it, you know.
Possibly.
We might do it. Yeah, that's my big problem. Lucas Andrade says Krav Maga doesn't have competition. Yeah.
Yeah, the streets are the competition.
I'm just saying, if I can take somebody down, control them, and put my balls on the forehead without eye gouging them.
Oh, Leandro says one of the things Paul Yaris was saying is that he was saying that he's very prepared and he'll punish Gordon like if he was a poor girl.
Oh, I heard him say that. I did hear him say that.
What does poor girl mean?
Does he mean like a girl from the favelas? Favelas?
Well, I don't know, dude.
Mark says Krav Maga does have competition in Israel. I don't know, Mark. I don't know.
Could you imagine what that competition looks like?
I can.
Bunch of spazzy white belts. It's probably the same thing as a white belt tournament.
No, they haven't fought yet. We're still waiting on the main event to start. All the other ones are done. 172 concurrent viewers. While we wait, guys, I'm going to give you a link. Those of you that are kind of new to jiu-jitsu or you need a little help, still white belt, blue belt, getting stuck in those bottom positions, I got a free video series at No-Gi Helper, www.nogihelper.com. Free video series on how to stop getting crushed on the bottom positions. I just typed it up in the chat, but it's www.nogihelper.com. Y'all go check it out. And make sure you like this, give it a share, subscribe to the channel. We got 173 concurrent viewers right now, 175. For this main event, man, let's see if we can push this thing to 300. You guys go give it a share.
And any of you guys interested as we do this leg lock this month, if any of you guys are interested in the Estima lock, Brandon is one of the best guys in the world at explaining the Estima lock. And he's got his notebook out. Yeah, he calls it the sock lock, but it's the Estima lock. The Estima brothers have broken many dudes, and I've seen Brandon, man, terrorize people with this lock. It's gi and no gi legal, dude.
It's even better in the gi.
Yeah, it's even better in the gi. So if you're like, I don't want to do leg locks, like I'm focused on the IBJJF tournament, like Brandon is one of the best guys to learn the Estima lock from, and I guarantee you'll get a lot of breaks. Like it's instant, a lot of breaks in competition. Clark Gracie doing the commentary, he got his foot snapped.
Yeah, by Victor Estima.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one was in the gi. That's an awesome sub. Yeah, I was just taking notes earlier today. I'm going to be putting together a sock lock instructional for my website. Probably going to sell it for like $19 or something like that. But I'm going to be on it this week. We've already talked to Keelan about it.
You're going to need about 3 or 4 ukis for that.
Dude, it's vicious.
It's a vicious, man. You have to be incredibly careful training the Estima lock. And that actually can make it kind of tough because it's one of those things that you can't go full speed on or you're going to hurt your training partners, right?
Yeah. I think while you're learning, so I wasn't taught it. I tried to figure it out off of watching them do it. So they ended up releasing an instructional later, but I never heard anybody talk about it, or I never seen anybody teach it or anything. So I was just watching them do it on a couple of videos and then trying to replicate what I thought I saw. And because, I saw him bust Lovato's foot with it at 80cc. And so that's all I needed to know, is that something was going on. But you couldn't quite see from the angle in that video, like, what was going on. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. Thought it was a straight ankle lock forever. Figured out it was a toe hold style pressure. Once I figured that out, then I had to learn to be gentle with it because you're trying to figure out what are the right angles, what are the right pressures. And so, yeah, in the process of learning, and I was not as careful with my training partners. I was a lot more inexperienced back then. You know, it was like a blue and purple belt, especially that purple belt was when I was really like sharpening that and polishing it. So, yeah, a lot of people's feet left in the wake of that one, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Still, from time to time, that happens.
Oh, that's hilarious. Leandro. Guys, I'm kidding. Gordon is the favorite. Palhares is force, while Gordon is technique.
Hey, Leandro knows what's up, bro. That's kind of how I feel too, man. Bryant Lovelace says leg lockers are just grapplers who are scared to engage.
Ooh, harsh criticism.
Bryant coming with them strong words.
I had 3 yesterday.
Yeah, because you're scared to engage, though.
From the top.
Ooh, that's a good question. Does flexibility counter the Estima like other ankle toe holds?
No. Those flexibility is not an answer to any problem you're presented with. Flexibility doesn't solve it any more than strength solves a problem that you're presented with. That doesn't mean that it won't, provide you a temporary solution, but the time will definitely come when flexibility won't save you and it'll get you broken, and the time will definitely come when strength won't save you and it'll get you broken. So, no, usually when people escape the Estima lock, it's either a technical issue on the part of the offensive player, or, honestly, man, I spam it. I throw it a lot because it doesn't cost me position to attempt a sloppy one. And if I can get you with a threatened one, like if I can just scare you into realizing, oh, he's got a real Estima lock, then it fundamentally changes the things that you like to do from the bottom position. It makes your guard much less vulnerable because a lot of times you won't go to what you know is your A game once you've felt that threat. And I can just use that. It's just kind of like you're going to show somebody that you're willing to change levels and double leg them through the next room. That doesn't mean you have to, but the threat of it changes the stand-up exchange. The threat of, like, okay, we're in a stand-up exchange now, and I barely graze your nose with an overhand right, like that I brought from hell. Okay, next time you're going to show some respect, and you're going to be a little more cautious coming in. You're going to do things a little differently. That's the way I treat the Estima lock. So, yeah, I'm going to put out a good little instructional on it, and I'll put it up on my website.
For you guys asking, the main event is getting ready to start. Probably another 10 minutes. We have Gordon Ryan versus Palhares. So the match has not happened yet. They're just showing a bunch of, kind of countdown video. A lot of Gordon and Palhares lifting weights. So a lot of that in wrestling.
Mikey says just invert out of the Estima lock. That's what people do when they get their foot broken. You can invert if the guy doesn't have it on, but if it's on and you invert, you break your own foot.
And there's levels to it. There's definitely
sure.
levels to it. And Brandon, again, has one of the best in the world. I'm very confident in saying that. So, yeah, I mean, there's different levels to just like any submission. You know, Marcelo Garcia's RNC is much different than even a high-level purple belt. I mean, Marcelo is probably the GOAT. And Gordon Ryan.
Ooh,
like
so yeah, I got the tomahawk written down on here. I'm just now I've been practicing the tomahawk a little bit, but I'm just now starting to see it where it happens live. Nasty. Now it's off that Arimi Ashi. That's where I'm hitting it off of. Oh, we may be getting ready to start. Gordon versus Paul Yadish right here. Zach says put some respect on my name. I got you, Zach. Respect to you. Will Calkins says, I can attest that eventually flexibility will break you. Was put in Americana, no pressure on my shoulder, then boom, my elbow exploded. Yep. So a lot of times when you find yourself in an Americana, when the arm is bent and it's in tight, the pressure goes through the shoulder. But as you fight that and start to stretch your arm, the pressure bleeds off of the shoulder and here into the ulnar collateral ligament, the UCL. And once this starts to straighten, it's no longer the shoulder taking the brunt of the force, it's the UCL. And so when you get turned over right here and the arm starts to straighten, pop, you get a pop right there. That's what happens when people need Tommy John surgery. Mm-hmm. That's the, Gary, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Tonin just ran out to the mats, all dressed up in his Gary Tonin clothes, and did a fake judo throw on Rafa Esparza. I think we're about to see a Gary Tonin match, and I couldn't be happier. So maybe Gordon's not up right now, but dude, I will always watch Gary Tonin fight. So I don't know if he's fighting or if he's just doing a little interview right here. But please, God, say that somebody's about to come out here and try to fight him. What's going on?
Yeah, who would be like an awesome surprise Gary Tonin match against? He really wants that Renato Canuto rematch. I highly doubt it'd be Renato Canuto, but they're both 1-1 against each other. Gary just beat him in ADCC. Renato Canuto beat him in Kasai. That'd be sick. I think they're just interviewing Gary right before this.
Rolf is trying to make everybody laugh. I like Rolf, man. All right, so I think they're just hanging out talking to Gordon. He's just in full DDS rash guard and shorts gear. So he could be going to EBI, ADCC, or Five Guys in those clothes. It's hard to say.
Ooh, Lucas coming out. Renzo Gracie broke arm in Kimura, I think, in Pride.
He dislocated his elbow in that match, actually. It was a Kimura that did it. That was against Sakuraba. That was Pride. I believe that was Pride 10. It might have been the Hoyler versus Sakuraba match that was Pride. Actually, it was Hoyler. I can't remember. One of them was Pride 10. Hoyler is the one that really got his shoulder turned over against Sakuraba. So it was Sakuraba versus Hoyler. The shoulder turns over. Hoyler never quit. Same thing that he did against Eddie in that thing. He's like, what? I didn't tap. And he acted like it didn't hurt him at all. Maybe it didn't. He's a crazy person. He's super flexible. Eventually it was going to hurt him, though. He had no recourse. He was going to have to tap or get his arm broken right there. We see what happens on Kimuras when people don't tap. Renzo didn't tap, but his arm was straighter when it happened, and it also started from a standing position, and Sakuraba ripped it to the ground. Mm-hmm. When he ripped it to the ground, the arm straightened, pow! the elbow dislocated. If you go back and watch that match, Renzo never made a grimace. He only smiled. He only smiled.
Yeah,
and he thanked Sakuraba for the opportunity at the end.
Oh, here we go. Palhares coming out.
Ooh,
He's still
hey
looking
man,
pretty
what are
jacked.
you talking about? Okay,
He's still pretty jacked.
Palhares looking thicker than a Snicker on the way out. All that talk about him looking a little thinner has now been squashed. She thick.
It looks like he's going to the side of beef wrap.
Oh my God, he's a terrifying looking person. All right,
Yeah, he's jacked.
Mikey Big Book says, look at Ethan Krellison at the trials 3 years ago. Specifically about what?
About that arm break. You got that reverse
Oh,
triangle.
yeah,
That
from the Kimura.
nasty-
Dude,
yeah.
disgusting. But one of the coolest highlights ever.
Yeah, it's one of the cool things about the Donahue guys. They use that reverse triangle from the, so not a regular triangle. They lock in the reverse triangle, and there's some nasty DDS arm breaks from that position, getting that Kimura grip, and it just really isolates that arm over there because you've locked it over. And yeah, that was one of the nastiest breaks I've seen. Dude didn't tap though, man. I mean, he had like 10 seconds to tap and just went, nah, I don't tap.
Yeah, to me, that's madness. Dude, Gordon's huge.
Yeah, this is definitely a different match.
All right, here we go.
than
Slap
Gary
bump,
Tonin,
and it's on.
because Gordon is
Gordon
just
pulls
as
guard
big.
right away. He pulls butterfly guard right away, and he stands into a front headlock already and tries to drag Palhares down. Now, Gordon with the 2-on-1, working the arm drag, and Palhares looking to pull Gordon back into a leg exchange. Kind of sloppy. And Gordon's going to come up on top right here with his knee leading through the middle in the position we call the DMs.
Yeah, Palhares does not want to be on bottom.
No,
Gordon's
Gordon
got an
already worked the underhook.
Yeah, and Gordon's going to try and win head position right here. Gordon's passing DVD, amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But, ooh, a little deep half. Gordon's going for that.
Gordon
Kimura
already
trap.
working the underhook against the deep half. Oh, this is going to be a reverse triangle. Oh, man, Palhares is
just
strong, and
such
Palhares is
a
going to come up on
beast.
top. He's attacking the foot, and he's already got his back taken. Gordon, oh, man, Gordon with the body triangle in the back position, less than a minute into the match here.
Yeah, Palhares tried a really sloppy toe hold and just gave his back up.
That was,
He was looking just for a rip.
Not a great
and
move,
just gave up
dude.
his back, yeah.
and Gordon now starting to, he's got the head position. Palhares stacking back, arms above his head, looking to defend. Gordon bringing the left arm in, going across the nose with it. Nothing there yet. Minute 20 deep into the match.
Yeah, we're really going to see how strong Palhares is. I mean, when was the last time you saw Gordon's back triangle escaped? I mean, I can't remember.
I don't
the
remember
last
seeing
time.
people escape his back anything, dude. If he gets to that back triangle, like that rear triangle,
I remember Rustam escaped it a couple times, like in that a long time ago. That
in the EBI
absolute.
in the overtimes
Yes.
though, not in
But,
regulation.
I mean, but especially new Gordon, 220 Gordon. I can't remember the last time. I don't think I've seen anybody escape. So, Palhares in a lot of trouble here. We're not even at 2 minutes. Gordon has a full body lock, and he's looking to start playing the Donahue back system.
So body triangle for Gordon. The body triangle is locked on what we would traditionally call the wrong side, quote unquote wrong side. So the body triangle locked on the bottom here. Palhares trying to press in. He's keeping his arms up above his head. And he's using that to defend. Now Gordon now starting to work the grips, trying to play that straight jacket system. He's got one grip with his left hand on the cross grip, controlling the wrist, and now he's lost the first grip, and now he's going same side grip, right hand over right, now left hand over left, and he's going to begin to work the chin now. Good job fighting the grips here so far by Palhares. Oh, he breaks the body triangle, and he's cut an
breaking the
angle.
Body triangle. He really needs
Gordon
to try
getting
and-
right back to it
yeah.
now.
Gordon's having to the lock on the wrong side. He tried to switch it over, and Palhares did a really good job of stopping that body triangle switch, and Gordon's still on the wrong side body triangle.
Happy to do this stream for you guys. Thank you for saying thank you. Support the channel, give us subscribe, hit that bell, like, share, throw some money through the super chat. We take it all. 3 minutes and 10 seconds deep in this match. Gordon has had the back since about the 50-second mark. Body triangle right now locked up on the low side, right here on the wrong side. And Gordon working kind of from double underhooks. Palhares playing with his hands high, blocking all the attempts from Gordon, and Gordon now trying to go across his nose with the right arm.
Gordon trying to rake the nose with his wrist, trying to pull Palhares back. Palhares tried to get his back to the mat. Gordon just such a good back game. But man, Palhares, you can barely see his neck. I mean, he's one of those guys that really thick shoulders, thick upper body, and it's going to be really tough for Gordon to get a clean choke. I mean, he's going to have to go across the face. Yeah, he's crunching that nose in with that wrist bone. Gordon still has his hand wrapped. I think he had a really bad burn or something like that. So
he probably got that nasty off them mats.
yeah.
4:15 deep now in this match. Oh, here we go. Gordon now, man, just not able to get under the chin. He's really not even able to get his forearm across the face.
Yeah, he hasn't come close. And again, Palhares' body type is really gonna be a problem from Gordon trying to get that clean rear naked choke. Putting a lot of pressure on his foot right
grips. Going across the nose of Palhares. Palhares not affected at all. Gordon having a tough time getting the grips put together for this straight jacket system here. And that's the struggle that I tend to find with the straight jacket too. Like if you can't get the grips, it's tough, man. It's tough to play this position and hold that spot without winning the gripping exchange. And Gordon is winning the grip exchange, but is not able to get an advantage.
Well, and with it being on the wrong side body triangle, it's going to be tough for him to get that arm trap, because if he releases the body triangle right here, he's going to lose Palhares. So he's trying to get him over on the other side, but man, Palhares is just a beast. He's bridging really well, putting that weight on Gordon. Really tough to do anything right here. Palhares doing a good job of defending. I mean, Gordon hasn't come close to anything. We're looking at 4 minutes of ride time now. We have just over 4 minutes left in the match.
Shout out to my boy Ben Nelson in the comments. I put him on that moderator status. Ben's one of our primary training partners here. Awesome jiu-jitsu player. Mikey said, is he going to go Kimura grip to armbar? Man, maybe. 6 minutes into this match, he's been on the back for over 5 minutes now, and honestly hasn't made any progress. But neither is Palhares, not showing any signs of escaping.
But a big issue is Palhares hasn't really had to use any energy. So if Gordon tries to transition to another submission, Palhares still has all that energy saved up, and he's going to look to explode. Palhares really wants to get his head to the same side as this wrong side body triangle, but Gordon's doing a really good job of keeping his head in between Palhares' and the ground. That's really important right now.
Sub-only match, to answer the question in the chat.
Trying to switch over. Palhares now has his head over. Gordon's losing head position. This is the closest Palhares.
A lot of pressure now on that body triangle. Gordon trying to drag Palhares' head back into position. Man, Palhares just can't seem to slip. A lot of pressure there on Gordon's ankle. You can start to see the heel start to push out, which is the beginning of the body triangle coming undone. If Palhares can just keep his head and his back trending towards the mat, his hips scooting out towards that lock, he's going to be able to at least force Gordon to scramble to recover or escape. I see Gabby Garcia in the background there.
Yeah, she's hard to miss. Because she's a legend.
Ben says, do the pros never go for the leg lock on the wrong side body triangle because they'll just let their foot break, or because they know how to neutralize it? Some guys just don't feel it, man. I feel it quick. It hurts me. I was watching some guys do that yesterday at that little in-house tournament. One of the blue belts had that position. It was locked up on his foot like that. I was like, dude, his leg's going to break. And I was just feeling my leg shatter watching it. He never even batted an eye. So
yeah, so there's 2 minutes left. We're looking at Gordon's had the back now for 7 minutes. It came off of Palhares tried a sloppy toe hold. Basically just he kind of gave his back up, and Gordon's had this position now for 7 minutes, but he has not come close to a submission. So Palhares doing a really good job defending, and again, his body type just makes it really, really tough to get underneath that neck.
Daryl Mance says, are they showing any shots of John Danaher? Nope. Hadn't seen him. I'm sure they showed him at some point.
So we got under 1:30 left, 1:20. They've still been, it's been in this back ride pretty much the entire match. Palhares tried 2 leg locks, and Gordon ended up on top. He went for deep half. Gordon went for a rear triangle, and off that rear triangle, Palhares tried kind of like a, to grab a foot and do a toe hold, and gave up his back.
I believe the time limit's 10 minutes. All the other matches have been a 10-minute time limit. This one now approaching the 9:15 mark now, so 45 seconds left. Gosh, got grossa. Gosh, got fina. Brasileiro.
So
they may
30
go longer than
seconds.
this. They may go longer than 10.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Gordon has not been able to move Palhares at all. He's been on this wrong side body triangle for, dude, my foot would be so sore. He's been in this wrong side body triangle for almost 9 minutes now. Palhares just hipping in. Gordon, again, hasn't come close. I mean, he's really struggled to make any progress since he's been on the back.
Yeah, he hasn't gone anywhere yet.
This were no time limit. What's your play?
Dude.
This is the play for no time limit right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't let him out of here. As long as Gordon feels like he's not taxing
Well,
his grips, he's not making himself tired, then I would
We're
leave it
past
right
the
here.
10-minute mark, so this match is not a 10-minute match. Who knows? It could be no time limit sub only. It
That'd
could
be
be
dope.
20 minutes. Who knows? So we're past 10 minutes. Gordon's coming on 10 minutes of back ride time. Is Palhares going to make a mistake? Because he's been on the back now. I mean, he's had his back taken for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
He
I
needs
mean,
to stay patient, though. 'cause
he's heading
Gordon-
on legitimately like 15 seconds till he hits the 10-minute mark with Gordon Ryan in a body triangle on his back. And Palhares has not been in danger of being submitted yet. It hasn't even been close yet. He's also shown no signs of escaping.
Man, look at that. His foot's barely, and his foot's just stretching. You can see it. Gordon's foot's definitely a little compromised, but again, he's not going to let go of that. He keeps trying to readjust, but again, I think a normal person foot would definitely be sore.
Sore maybe, but they may not tap.
Yeah, definitely.
Bernie's Bootleg says, how do we not know what the time limit is? Didn't the organizers tell anyone?
Well, they're counting up. That's why we also don't know.
Yeah,
Time
we're not
limit's
listening to
been
the time.
counting up.
But, I mean, they've been whack all weekend with their time and their scheduling and who's actually even on the card and stuff. So, yeah. Zach says, stand them up. For real,
Shoot,
man.
Talk about quintet.
Geo630 says there's a 15-minute time
Mm.
on this one.
Well,
Leandro says Palhares showing why he's a black belt, defending very well this uncomfortable position. He's surviving it.
hey, man, I've never seen anybody survive Gordon from the back, especially for this long. I mean, and again, Gordon hasn't come close. He can't even move Palhares, and that definitely attests to how much of a beast Palhares is. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, very dominating performance so far, but Gordon has not come close to subbing Palhares.
Daryl Mant says maybe the game plan was to tire Gordon out and explode into some crazy scramble. Hey, listen, man, maybe, but even if that was the game plan, I don't think he wanted to spend 12 minutes with Gordon on his back
yeah.
in a body triangle.
Hey, but to Palhares' credit, he did not Craig Jones this match. I mean, he was going out there. He was trying to grab a foot right off the bat. He tried to attack. So, unfortunately, I mean, again, now we're kind of looking at almost 13 minutes of ride time. And Gordon's got to be thinking, man, what do I got to do? I mean, he has not come close, and he cannot get Palhares on the side he wants him to. He wants to switch that body triangle up, and if he can switch that body triangle up, he might be able to get that trap. But since he's on the wrong side body triangle, he can't do the straitjacket system, because if he takes that, I mean, his foot's trapped in there, but even if it wasn't, if he took that arm out, he's going to lose Palhares. So, I mean, we're not getting to see Gordon. I mean, that's how he dominated ADCC. And that straitjacket system is just not available right now.
13 minutes and 30 seconds into this match. Gordon Ryan has now been on the back for approaching 13 consecutive minutes, and he's had the body triangle for coming on 13 consecutive minutes. Palhares, however, has not shown any signs of being in danger of a submission, but he has not shown any signs he's going to be able to get out of the position either. Now approaching the 14-minute mark of the match.
Yeah, so if it's a 15-minute match, we're looking at almost a minute left, a minute 5, a minute 4, a minute 3. So right at 1 minute left, the match is still going on. Gordon Ryan has almost had the back now for 14 minutes. Let that sink in. That's crazy.
Lucas says, in the current position, is it more taxing to Gordon or Palhares? And who do you think gets tired first? Go ahead, Skaff.
Oh, I definitely think Gordon. It's more taxing. He's had this wrong side body triangle.
Now the right side.
Finally has got the right side body triangle.
Ooh, and now he's attacking the face. Palhares working back, and he puts him back on the soft side triangle again. Gordon now back to the
30
stack.
seconds. Gordon needs to keep him on this side. See, now he has
the hand trap. So he has the hand trap with the leg. He's now into the full straitjacket system. Oh, Palhares frees his right hand. Gordon using the right hand on the inside to control. Yeah. Same side grip. Leg is... Palhares frees his arm from the straitjacket system. He's back into it. Now the 15-minute mark of this match. And they called it.
That... Honestly, that was insane. Just
and they're hugging each other, all sweetie pie and smiling at each other. Oh, they love. Palhares just picked Gordon up over his head. I think they're best friends now. All right, Gordon does not get the sub, but a definitely ultra dominant performance.
Yeah, I think Gordon's going to be really upset with this match that he had somebody's back for 14 minutes and couldn't get the finish. Obviously dominated. I definitely think he's not going to be too happy with the performance. I mean, Gordon wasn't happy with his ADCC performance because 2 guys didn't get submitted. So.
Well, I think he just had a tough time opening the body triangle with all that pressure on it.
Man.
If he would have opened the body triangle, he could have put himself in danger right there. So as long as Palhares was working that defense that he was working, I think that Gordon felt like the best thing to do was the body triangle.
It was a draw, so I guess it was only sub only. So they raised both guys' hands.
Okay.
So we're looking at a draw here. Gordon Ryan, if you guys...
it should be a draw.
Yeah,
That's the right score.
Yeah, so draw. And Gordon would say again, he didn't submit him.
That was a draw the same way that Eddie versus Hoyler, too, was a draw.
Yeah.
That was a draw, but we all know who won the match. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Gordon won that match, hands down, far and away.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So let us know in the comments, those of you that watched it, what did you think? Not a big man. I can't believe they're in Los Angeles, California. There's so much jiu-jitsu around there, and there's nobody in the crowd to see Gordon versus Palhares, man. Crazy. What did you guys think about the event, those of you that watched? Still 291 people in the chat, so let's hang out for a second. Those of you that are hanging out, let me go ahead. I'm going to put a link to a place where you can get my new leg locks. They're coming out. The new leg lock course is $39. Link just put in the chat. Go ahead, Skaff.
Ben asks, was it more of technique or anatomy that saved Palhares? And honestly, strength. You saw Gordon got that arm trapped, and he escaped Gordon's straitjacket system, and that's just pure strength. That was not technique. Obviously, Palhares is one of the best black belts in the world, but what we saw today was strength, patience, which is really important. Palhares showed really good patience of just trying to lean his weight on that wrong side body triangle, and the anatomy of Palhares. Gordon really he didn't come close to getting underneath that neck, and a lot of that has to do with Palhares is an absolute monster. So
Fabiana, appreciate Fabi coming up clutch on the Portuguese comments in the chat. So she's handling it for me. So I don't know what's going on. Hey, those of you that are from Brazil, Fabi, put the Instagram handle and let people know how they can see the Portuguese channel on Instagram. So it's on Instagram at brandonmc.brasil. So there we go. Who was the brown belt that you went with to combat jiu-jitsu? He was a great guy. Which combat jiu-jitsu? This past one? Oh, Addison. Talking about this past one that we just did?
Luker, who won the Lovato match? So Lovato won 6 minutes in. He beat Boogie Martinez with a Kimura, north-south Kimura.
David Keeler says Sonny's the only other person that survived Gordon on their back that long. Well, there you have it. That's pretty funny. Who's this out here talking to him right now? Is that the organizer? You got his baby out there. Baby wants that microphone.
I think he's just the translator.
That baby's trying to be the translator, going after that mic. Red Nose says, was hoping Gordon and Palhares would get into some leg lock battles. Yeah, I was just hoping to see just more activity than that. That was, I mean, it's not like anybody was stalling. It was just a position that Gordon couldn't advance from and Palhares couldn't retreat from.
Honestly, I mean, I said it before this match. I think Marcelo and Gordon Ryan, it wasn't a technique that Palhares used. It just really shows how much of a beast Palhares was. And he really didn't do much in this match, but he still showed how much of a beast he was.
So let's go over the results from the weekend real quick. So, Skaff, why don't you start with Fogolin won.
Yeah, Fogolin won, bow and arrow choked.
Bill Cooper versus Ramalho.
Yeah, Ramalho won. I'm not sure how.
I believe that was a straight ankle lock.
Yeah, I think it was a foot lock too.
Mikey MUSUMECI versus Joseph Lee.
MUSUMECI won. Didn't see how, but I know he won.
Edwin NAJMI versus Luna. MATHIAS Luna.
Yeah, really sick back take by NAJMI. Finished with a rear naked choke.
Rafael Lovato versus Richie Martinez.
Yeah, so the main event is Saturday. Rafael Lovato versus Richie Martinez. Lovato passed Boogie's guard twice. Boogie put up some resistance, and guard looked good. Lovato was definitely respecting Boogie, but he caught Boogie at the 6-minute mark with a north-south Kimura.
All right, so today's matches. We started off with Ruben Rivera versus Rodrigo Freitas.
Freitas, he ended up winning a ref's decision. A pretty boring match. Freitas got one pass, and from that pass,
got a sweep and a pass.
A sweep and a pass.
Yeah, I didn't think it was boring. I just didn't think it was. There was just no submission offense at all.
Yes.
We skipped the Barbosa versus Silverio fight. They didn't show. Tony Lopez versus CLEBER Luciano. Performance of the night, CLEBER Luciano.
Definitely. Highlight match right there. CLEBER Luciano looked like an absolute stud. He's definitely an OG in the California area. I believe he's a 5th degree black belt, and he looked just so fluid. He looked like water.
Then we had Barbosa versus Alves. The Alves takes it from Atos. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Alves looked real good. He ended up finishing a disgusting loop choke. So,
yeah, that was it was beautiful. Then we did Costa versus Diego Oliveira.
I believe, Diego Oliveira won by decision. So, pretty interesting match. Both guys came and were engaging the entire time. Diego Costa got a couple of sweeps. He had a couple of sweeps. And
Diego Oliveira, or Paulo Costa, you mean?
Diego Oliveira got a couple of sweeps and ended up taking that match.
Diego won it or Costa won it?
Diego won.
Okay. I thought, man, I said him switched in my brain.
Yeah,
I trust you. I'm dumb.
Yeah,
and then the big main event, Gordon Ryan versus Rousimar Palhares. And Gordon had his back inside of a minute. So about 50 seconds ago, Gordon took his back, put the body triangle on. Palhares dropped to the weak side of that body triangle, forced the body triangle to the bottom, and we stayed there till the 15-minute mark.
Yeah. Really interesting match in that Gordon Ryan probably currently has the best active back game in the world. He's finishing everyone. That was his preferred weapon at ADCC. And he had Palhares' back for 14 minutes, and he couldn't get anything going. So, it ended up being a draw. So neither guy won that match. Gordon obviously had the back for 14 minutes, but no subs, so it was a draw.
And those of you from Brazil that are hanging out in the chat, awesome. We appreciate it. Glad Fabi's here to kind of handle that, because I don't know what y'all talking about, but she got this.
Hey, Red Nose says it's crazy. Kleber still competes. He's definitely OG. Dude, he didn't just compete. He looked amazing.
I thought he looked better than anybody on the card, to be honest with you. It was really, really, really dominant. Two big throws. He was right passing the guard, knee on belly. Again. These collar drag style drop seonagis. And he dominated his match and ended up finishing with a really nice arm lock. Just gorgeous work. No no resistance. Like he was just constantly flowing from attack. He never overcommitted, and he never gassed himself, despite it being a pretty high-paced match, like an action-packed match. So I was blown away by his performance. Kleber Luciano. All right, dude. I think we're good. Any last words?
It was a cool event, 2-day event. I wish they honestly just would have made it a 1-day event because they didn't have very many super fights. So I wish they would have just turned it into an 8 super fight card. I was shocked that Gordon Ryan took Palhares' back that fast and couldn't get the finish. I thought Gordon was going to finish by rear naked choke. So that was very, very entertaining to me at least.
All right, we're going to get out of here, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That really helps us. Like, share, all of that good stuff. And those of you that are jiu-jitsu players and you're interested in getting some free instructional material from me on how to stop getting crushed from the bottom, I'm putting it in the chat right now, www.nogihelper.com. You can go over there, and that's going to help you. I won't be able to do the commentary next week, Dave. Good question. I'm not going to be here. Take it easy, Red Nose. Not going to be here next weekend. I'm going to be teaching a seminar over in Louisiana. And I think Sulphur, Louisiana is the name of the place. I hope it doesn't smell like sulfur. We will find out, though. So, all right. Ben, appreciate it. All you guys. Tyrone, next stream. Just next time that we can make it happen, man. Stay tuned in. I appreciate you joining us, all you guys. So, love y'all. Take her easy.